can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sink 3-pointers, money shots, all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept a storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to? The usual, Clarence 13X, a worthy guest. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down the cherry tree. In the wilderness of North Amex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch Storch type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like porch lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, the scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Best.
TV.
Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Peace to the family, peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursdays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host, Brother Red Pillar in the building. And that song that you just heard, that is Theta Waves featuring Red Pillar and Blue Pillar. Blue Pillar first, then Red follows. All right. That is off a TBA to be announced project coming very, very soon. I just want y'all to know that we are officially in album mode. You know what I'm talking about? We are officially in album mode. A lot of Red Summer, a lot of Scorpion King. Yes. So look out for that. Look out for that. Indeed, indeed. So how's everybody doing on this good night? On this good night. How's everybody in the building doing right now? We're tapping in. We have a loaded episode. So, man, if y'all don't get everything in one sitting, just come back, finish your meal and whatnot. There's so much going on. We couldn't keep you awake. We couldn't keep the information because, you know, it's organic. You know, if you leave it on the table, it might spoil and whatnot. So you got to get it out there. You feel me? I'm actually backed up on information. I got to get the pipeline going. But yeah, man, spring is here. The weather is changing. The pollen is out. You feel me? Sun is breaking through. The roses are budding. The bees are on the way. You feel me? Seasons are changing. The bears are coming out of hibernation. The ice is thawing. You know when they say winter is here? You scary niggas made it through the winter, huh? right? We made it, right? Nigga, we made it. Nigga, we made it. Yo, Red, you think we gonna be all right over the way? Nigga, we made it. Okay. They got niggas out here saving up for Teslas with the oil crisis. I ain't mad at that. I am not mad at that. You know what I'm talking about? If there's EV cars out here, I'm finna drive one. You know what I mean? I could get mad at how the batteries was made, but the battery got made. I'm finna go get me one of those electronic things and with a generator in case they shut off the grid. With a little hoopty in the motherfucking garage somewhere. You know what I'm talking about? With mad oil barrels somewhere. Like I'm a sheik. Let me remind everybody that when we hear the word oil and petroleum, you know, we did have owner, you know, we were touching that oil bread. We was touching oil wealth all up in Oklahoma and other places. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Let's do the roll call and let's see who's in the building. All right. Let's go ahead and tap in with the roll call. We got a packed show tonight. We're going to get lit. You know what I mean? All-star lineup. We got an all-star lineup. Okay. Nobody came to play. Everybody came to play big ball. You dig? So Hawaii, talk black to me. Is it? I've been doing the research with people that are on the land, that are actually boots on the ground, and it was given. Shout out to the family in Hawaii. You feel me? Shout out to the familia out there in Hawaii and whatnot, holding it down. You feel me? It was told that that is sacred land, but it was also told to me that these technocrats, they want that sacred land. You know, they're making moves to somewhat snatch that sacred land on the big island. The Menehune Sacred Island, or I might not be pronouncing it right, Menehune. You know, it's farmland. You know, portals to the underworld and all type of stuff going on. Philly in the building, Charleston in the building, Naptown in the building. We got Norwood in the building, Miami's in the building, 619 is in the building, Sanford is in the building, Wilmington, Delaware, south side of H-Town, Brookhaven, San Jose. We got Columbus, Ohio, Belize. What up, Belize? Wichita, Louisiana, Griffin, Georgia in the building, Cali up in this thing, Seattle is here, DMV is here, T dot up in this North Texas, Hawaii. We got Maryland, Cincinnati, Kenyon is Biatch, Poughkeepsie, Cleveland, Trenton, New Jersey. All right. Shout out to the truck drivers that's tapped in. Hit your horn for us. West side of Chicago, Sacramento, Hawaii, St. Louis. It got crazy this past weekend. It was flooding like Hurricane Katrina, no BS. Yeah, that was in Hawaii. I saw the footage. Like I say, so much is going on. We didn't even get a chance to cover that. There was a few things that were going on. There's that fire in Nebraska, right? Millions of acres. And then you had the situation in Hawaii with the floods. Remember, fire horse apocalypse, fire by purification. Rosben talked to, we got to bring Rosben back. We need this follow-up with Rosben at this point because the predictions are predicting Staten Island in the building, San Diego in the building. Literally, if you go to the episode that he did when he did the reading for the beginning of this calendar year 2026, where everybody said the New Year's is on the day of spring, I received no flyers. I didn't get no alerts. I didn't get invited to any ceremonies. I didn't see nobody go live, no reposting pictures. Nobody went viral with none of their so-called allegedly New Year's celebration when they was lecturing us about when the the New Year's is not in January, beloved. But I don't see nobody really. People should have been putting on. There should have been parades and all type of gatherings, and shout out to everybody that did something. They had a gathering down at the Kabul landing where we're going to be having our 72-hour boot camp for our open claw supercomputer and whatnot. That's coming up on April 18th. I want everybody to be in the building for that. I want y'all to know about that. We're going to get to that tonight. I wanted to premiere some music, a video that I have, but I don't know if the censorship is going to try to block this video when we send it to get when it's over with. Sometimes they do that. The oil explosion in Texas. We got floods in Kenya last month. The oil explosion in Texas. Big dog shit. Shit is going down. You feel me? Like real talk. You come back in 48 hours, God forbid 72 hours. You come back 72 hours to these platforms, the whole chessboard has changed up, right? Every state was affected by a weather anomaly at the same time. We got meteors, fires, and floods. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, unequivocally, without any shadow of a doubt, we are in the illest spiritual war that you've ever witnessed. You are standing literally in the middle of a crazy spiritual war. Keep in mind, I want you to put in context what a supreme leader is and what killing a supreme leader means. And when they say that they elect somebody else to be a supreme leader, what is that person doing? Are they doing taxes? Are they reading the Constitution? What exactly is a supreme leader? People are really they're not giving the benefit of the doubt to a people who have crushed many of empires and have been still standing. This is a people who have tapped whatever they have tapped into. It's tapped into. Whatever it had, whatever it was, or whatever it is, has kept them in this position to where their names have been whispered about. All of these things that are coming into the atmosphere, that is a part of spiritual warfare. This is a very higher plane of what is being given or told to you henceforth, where the propaganda is coming. And I would not be surprised, and there's so many factors that play into what we're witnessing. One, this could be the illest theater slash movie set slash production slash joint, quote unquote, Nollywood, Bollywood, Hollywood, WEF, WWE production, right? That we've ever seen. Like the one world motherfucking Klaus Schwartz or King Charles switcheroo, right? That's a factor. Two, the other factor is that it's some shit going down, dealing with the Leviathan, dealing with portals, dealing with giants, dealing with caves, dealing with stargates, dealing with spirit, dealing with a crusades against spiritual powerhouses like Venezuela, like Cuba, like Nigeria, right? Like Iran, right? Then remember, they said that they're crusading. What does the crusades entail? The crusades entail them going after where the spiritual power is the edifice is Haiti, the target on Haiti, right? They're like, oh, we're going to get drug dealers. As niggas is like, yeah, let's stop the cocaine from coming in. And it's like, nigga, what? They're going to stop giants. They're going to stop dragons. They're going to stop the awakening of a quote unquote force that lives through the actual people, the veils. They're stopping a bunch of shit from taking place. What are we talking about? Operation Southern Spear, I believe. An autonomous war that they launched in the quote unquote Western Hemisphere against Latin America. But this is about robots. This is about drones. This is about unmanned. This is about Anthropic. This is about Palantir. Man, this is about IWAS. And who comes strolling out today in the White House? Oh, Melania Trump in a robot, right? And I said already, if you saw the drones being the unmanned autonomous drone warfare that the Ukraine and the Russia conflict introduced you to in this theater of war, well, this one right here with Iran is going to introduce you into embodied humanoid robots, Boston Dynamic dogs, right? Robots, droids, right? They will go through the they will gonna put on the Straits of Hormuz, right? They're gonna send those robots. They're gonna send those robots to assist. They're gonna bring out exoskeletons, robots, drones, dogs, and all type of AI, Anthropic, and Palantir. Remember, they just signed the contract with Palantir for what? For Palantir to be the core system of not just the military, the entire system, everything. That's Skynet, ladies and gentlemen. That's the touchdown. That's what they would. That's what this whole provocation was somewhat manufactured to kind of do. I don't trust near one of them. This is chess and not checkers, and you could be the monkey in the middle. Always know that there's fake beef. Always people could fake a beef to basically put your ass in the middle and act like you're collateral damage, right? Or they'll fake a beef in order to create the environment to where they're locked down and their final solution or their next quote unquote their next level of colonialism. These are all colonial. Remember, all of the actors have a vested interest in us not waking up. Not nobody benefits off of what's going on in the Sahel region. Nobody benefits off of Negroes in America not just finding out that this is their land, but being able to enact real law. Being what? Being able to pack up a European and send their ass back to wherever the fuck they came from. Real talk. Being able to pack up, being able to deport every single person in the Americas, not just in North America, South America, Central America, Canada, and North America. Being able to hold them against their treaty and be like, you know what? Y'all got to self-deport. ICE is at the airport, right? All right, cool. They'll put you on ICE. Yeah. They'll make sure that you'll get your ICE at the airport. But you got to go back to Poland, my nigga. Yeah. You didn't honor the treaty. You were not honorable to the decree. You know, you're a part of the quote unquote conspiracy. That if for real, if it was really moving like that, that's what would happen. The sovereigns of the land will be able to deport any. Nobody is from the land but us, fam. That's what people fail to mention. So that's something that's being that's something that the world knows. That's the greatest secret that's never been told. People take blood oaths. People take all type of commitments to never let us know this. Every single person comes over here and takes full advantage of the quote unquote dots of a Mexum. This is a sex farm the same way that we see DR, PR, and all of those other passport bro places where the women are easy. Well, over here the women and the men are easy as well. You know what I'm talking about? The women and the men are easy in the eyes of like red dot Indians, in the eyes of merchants, Chinese, all of the Asians, the Koreans, the Vietnamese who were cosplaying Chinese to sell chicken wings, egg rolls, fried rice, shrimp fried rice. Uh, that, and I don't even know if they do it like that in China, but they had a specialized menu for us. However, the MSG and a whole bunch of other things that they had in it, right, was very detrimental. So these were the people who were considered to be sellouts in their land in a time of war, right? And they got granted access into the United States of America. They placed them strategically within area codes where melanated people lived, and they created an enterprise of Chinese food on our people's back. They wasn't selling that to white people. They didn't have franchises for white people with this whole Chinese food thing that came later on. Just many different, shit. Any other really different ethnicity or nationality, there's a business plan, there's visas available, there's loans available, there's packets, there's bundles where they show you how you could basically come into, this very diverse, economically diverse and a large consumer base, and they give you the psychology on how to sell to us. As y'all can see, that has been very successful as a business plan until recently. The resources that they're living off of, the people in Africa, they have prediction models that will tell them when people when the Negroes or the Moors in America wake up, they have the overall influence either through the internet or just through the actual grid to affect those governments in places like Africa, in other places in the diaspora, that can actually wake those people up, almost like the 100 monkey theory, right? And it could basically, so it's like when we have this great, but we've already had, but the more we have an awakening is going to affect other groups of people, and that is a threat, because that's when you have things like what you see with Ibrahim Traore, when they basically had the courage, and they had the wherewithal to stand up to the French, to stand up to all of the other European nations that were feeding off of their land, and then Niger and Mali followed, and a bunch of other nations are beginning to follow suit. Um, Shit like that is I'm not saying that that's the most scariest thing that these transnational companies are looking at, but I'm sure they're factoring that in. Look, they got Claude working, and like they're I don't think people understand the level of compute power and the level of they're able to come up. Remember with Doctor Strange being able to come up with all of the possible possibilities? Well, that's what they're gonna have. The Claude and Anthropic coming together is how they'll be able to come up with every single possibilities, maybe even in a millisecond. Like the level of, you know, lethal autonomous technology, iOS type of lawlessness that they're able to enact. Yeah, it's going to is basically you're gonna have to sit back and watch. You're gonna have to sit back and pay attention to the escalation, because remember, war is about escalation. Remember that war is played in stages. It's the theater of war, and this is a theater of escalation. This is an escalation war. So this war escalates. It's like a ladder. it goes through different stages. And when it escalates, it goes to another level. That level sends it to another level. It's almost like when you're playing chess. Chess is a game of escalation. Everything doesn't start out on day one. Everything, but your first move is your first play in the game. It established what type of game this is. It established what type of theater this is. What was their first move? They bombed these schoolgirls in the school, bro. So what did that establish? This is a sacrifice. This is a ritual. This is some shit that they're moving forward to feed whatever this entity is, to fulfill whatever this motherfucking fulfillment is, or these quote unquote prophecies, or this eschatology, this motherfucking Armageddon protocol. That is exactly what you're seeing. It ties right into the red heifers. It ties right into that shit with Moloch when they burnt it and whatnot. It is a biblical eschatology theater, whether both sides are in it together or not. They are in it together because they are both on stage. They're playing the goddamn script out together. Nobody is bowing out and say, me no play. No, nigga, they're playing it together. So they're in on the shit together. This is the theater. And what is prophesied within this quote unquote program of this said theater in this season is something to give us reason to prepare and to be a little more proactive and a little more quote unquote, less arrogant, less cocky, less, nah, man, I'm cool, son. I'm gonna just keep working and shit. You know what I mean? All is well, beloved. All is well. Yeah, it is all well. All is well. However, as things go to the left, things also go to the right. My G, like in the movie Friday, the windows are open, Ezekiel. You better crawl through there and take a shit. You know what I'm talking about? Come and drop some shit. Pop your shit. You know what I mean? Now is the time to boss up. Now is the time to pop your shit. Now is the time to do your big one. Now is the time to really pop off and make this shit worth something. It's right now. While you're watching this world go topsy-turvy, while these people show their complete fangs and whatnot, they don't have decor anymore. You're begging them to play nice. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that are wishing that they play nice. You're hoping that they don't just say what it is and just keep it a 1,000. You want them niggas to keep it half and half. You want them to go 50-50 with you. And I get it, because it could get scary underneath fascism and dictatorship and what they call authoritarianism. But I promise you, the playbook is playing. If you read Project 2025, they're playing this shit to the T. Nothing is out of order. There's a series I've been playing it called A Book of Villains. And every single one of them players, from Stephen Miller to Voight, look, they got the whole shutdown. ICE is in the airport. You don't see ICE before you go through TSA. You see ICE after you go through TSA. So what is ICE there to do? ICE is there to stop people from leaving America, not coming into America. Now that ICE is in the airport, this is Escape from New York, Snake Plissken. They're stopping you from leaving this bitch now. Remember, I've told you before, this is about stopping people who they don't want to leave here from leaving, right? That's what this is about. Because if they're in the airport and they don't want you to get on that plane at this point, you're not about to get on that plane. If they activate that list that Palantir and them have and whatnot, you're not getting on that motherfucking plane. You'll go through PSA. Oh, you took your boots off. You didn't beep off. You know what I mean? They be like, put your belt on and whatnot. And then Iceman cometh. Them niggas is pulling up. Iceman cometh, right? Come with me over here, sir. And you're in Alligator Alley or some shit. You know what I mean? Because you're on that list because you was with them Antifa niggas, you know what I mean, taking selfies and whatnot. Or, you was on the live with the Antifa niggas trying to be with your We Are the World shit, going up against the ICE protest when niggas told you to bow out because that's a operation. That's federal. That's a part of the PSYOPs. None of that shit has anything to do with you, but what you got to be doing outside of the scopes of where they're at. They should not be in the same sandbox that you're playing in at no time. People be throwing themselves into this Central Intelligence Agency headquarters and be wondering why they getting gang stalked and be wondering why these people is on your ass and whatnot. You went into the beehive and took a shit. You went into the hornet's nest and started kicking things around. You should have just been moving around that shit. Y'all play GTA. These niggas be in GTA when you go up the levels to where the black cars come out, and then you wonder why they stepping the way that they stepping with the helicopters and the Black Hawks. Yeah, nigga, you turned up the motherfucking surveillance. You did that. You did some hot boy shit. You know what I'm talking about? You can't blame that on nobody. These niggas be out here conscious crash outs. And you can't blame nobody on that. You know? Here in Phoenix, ICE is in TSA checking IDs. Remember, they got to roll them out. They can't roll them all out to every single airport. They did it on Monday. Started doing that on Monday. Right? ICE has the biggest budget of any law enforcement probably in the world, let alone in America. Don't fall for the okie doke of how they are presenting these people like they're just nincompoops and they're they're just these thugs with face masks and everything. They are the most heavily funded law enforcement agency that spawned out of the Homeland Agency, right? Which is an offshoot of Is It Real in them? You feel me? It's filtered with a bunch of those quote unquote people from the IDF and all of that. Okay? This is as close as you could get when it comes to like the DHL and whatnot, the Department of Homeland Security. I mean the DHS and all of these other people, these cronies. They will be consolidated. Okay? Be very, very mindful about the traps that are being laid by people who are being used to react online, in public, on your phone, triggering keywords and other things because of them doing what? The same thing that Facebook got sued for, right? By manipulating people's energy fields, right? What is Meta doing? They have algorithms that are rage baiting people, manipulating the behavior of people. Okay. This is something that Epstein and a European out of Harvard, right, named Martin Nowak. Okay. Epstein gave him $20 million. Okay. In Harvard, they went ahead and opened up their own separate lab, and they were doing what? They were doing research on how to manipulate people and control them through social media, right? This was right around, and this all went to Meta. This all went to Zuckerberg. They just had a verdict today where they had to pay a girl $20 million because she was able to prove that they are using their Meta system, their Facebook, their quote unquote social media platform to control people's emotions, moods, and consciousness, right? This is not me just winging it. This is not speculation. This is case law. This is yes, control influence. Thank you. Thank you. Let us get some KTLians on the job right there. Martin Nowak, Epstein, Harvard. Let's go deep diving and let's put that information out there for my researchers, so y'all could go ahead. That is a full plate. I still got that plate in the oven. I didn't even bring that's a whole 2-hour show just on that one topic right there, that not only did Epstein have his hand in manipulating the video game world, or what they call the gamer university, because he was with the bigwigs and they were creating microaggressions. They were putting all type of social social sciences, right, into the gamer world. No, not just the gamer world. No, he's behind the social media world, the algorithm. He's behind that. He's behind what people have now discovered is a very quote unquote powerful mind controlling digital egregor, and they call it the algorithm, aka the daemon, aka the demon, right? So this is yeah, you said Ready Player One, right? Around the time, coincidentally, where Meta pulled the plug on their virtual reality, right? Their virtual reality aspirations. Okay. But I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to take us all down memory lane briefly. Let me just pull it up real quick. There's a classic show that I did called the Behold the Pale-Faced Horseman, right? Behold the Pale-Faced Horseman. And it gets into this book right here. I'm going to pull this book up. I highly suggest, if you one of those readers of books and you go ahead and you like to add, the research, you do add the books to the research, go and grab this immediately. They got the Kindle. Oh, I believe they got the audio book. Shit, I'm going to grab that. All right, boom. So The End of Reality, right? I had this, this was one of the books that I used in my research for Behold the Pale-Faced Horseman. I did that in 2024 or 3. The End of Reality: How 4 billionaires are selling a fantasy future of the metaverse, Mars, and crypto. An instant bestseller, a brilliant takedown and expose of the great con job of the 21st century. The metaverse, crypto, space travel, transhumanism, being sold by 4 billionaires: Peter Thiel, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Andreessen, and Elon Musk, leading to the degeneration and the bankruptcy of our society. This shit laid out everything that these people have been doing so far ever since I read this book. When I read this book, this book opened up my eyes so much that I literally started falling back off of pushing the metaverse. Because when this book broke it down, and then when I did my deep dive, that basically solidified all of the research and took me further down a rabbit hole. I was like, okay, I see what I see what it is. I see what this is. I see it. So I started to call them the four head, the you know how they have that book called Behold the Pale Horse? I said, Behold a Pale Horseman. Behold a Pale Horseman. And it's the technocrats, it's the transhumanists, it's these oligarchs that are creating a new future through the implementation of what? Weaponized autonomous AI that I call IOWAS. Artificial intelligence weapons as a service. IOWAS, right? That's what I call it. Okay. And that is what is taking place in front of all of us as we speak, you know. But at the same time, like I said before, generator, operator, destroyer, it is the destroyer in God. It is the destroyer that I speak of in generator, operator, destroyer. You now have the AI as destroyer. It's not speculation, it's an operation. Generator, you have generative AI. Like you see this picture of Schoolie Red right here. Schoolie Red is generated, right? But he's manifested, not just a generation. He's a generation of a imagination, right? And I manifested him, and I could generate worlds and put him and others into any world that I could imagine. I am a generator. I am a co-creator. I am God. I'm an operator now. What is operator? Operator is Kimmy Claw. Operator is Open Claw. Operator is Claude Code. Operator is Agentic AI. Operator is Perplexity Computer taking over your computer. Operator is that. That's operator. Operator is Agent Swarm. That is what an operator is, right? Destroyer. What is destroyer? Destroyer is the fact that in the future you will have autonomous drones protecting you in your house. You will have a whole entire open source drone system with dogs, all type of things. Yeah, you're gonna have your own quote unquote Iron Dome. You're gonna be able to send quote unquote drones out to basically, to patrol and do all that. Look, it's coming. It's here. It's here. They have Palantir incorporated into the armed services. And they have that program called a Maven. Nigga, it's over. You understand? You're about to see some shit that I don't think you know it all. If you play video games, and everything from the video games is here, right? Adria, all of that Lord of the Rings shit, Palantir, Adrilil, Lucky Palmer, yeah. So this theater of war is to roll out AI robots, robot wars. Yes, robot wars. That is what you're looking at. That's all this is. Make no mistake about it. This is all about the AI and the takeover of this shit to lock this system down and make this bitch completely, quote unquote, some technocratic shit. They will crash it in order to act like they could bring it back. Yeah, Arteril, Anduril, Enduro. How am I pronouncing that right? Enduril, right? That's Lucky Palmer and them. That is the defense contractor who has billion-dollar contracts with all of these armed services, right? And they're building these unmanned drones, all of that drone activity that you're seeing. But at the same time, meteors are crashing. Shit is coming from the sky. Fireballs, right? Shit don't look like comets. Fireballs. Oil facilities are blowing up and whatnot. You know what I mean? Floods. There's forest fires the size of in the millions of acres are being burnt right now. So they pulled the plug on the metaverse. $80 billion from Meta. They pulled the plug on the metaverse, and he said he wants to focus on agentic AI, right? Mark Zuckerberg just had an AI CEO take over as CEO on Meta. Go and look it up. He just had an AI of himself, a digital twin, take over, and then they killed the metaverse, right? They killed the horizons, is what they called it. He discredited, and remember, Apple killed the virtual glasses. Elon Musk killed whatever metaverse goals that he had, and then Zuckerberg just pulled the plug on Horizons, and they discontinued a whole department for the metaverse. He said he's going fully in on AI, and he's going in on agentic AI. So it was all a waste of people's time, a waste of money, a farce, just like the book said, right? Just like the book said. Smoking on that OF leader pack. So it's a lot of shit going on, man. It's a lot going on. I would encourage everybody. I can't control nobody, but be sober. Focus on the most optimal of health. You understand? Healthy mind, healthy body. If you can hit the gym every day, hit it. If you could not, if you can't do it, hit the calisthenics. Men, do your Kegel exercises. That will turn you from nigga to God. Your Kegel exercises. Work on that. Work on your calisthenics. Work on your work on stuff like that. Strength training. Okay. And of course the women, work on your glutes. You feel me? And other things as well. Work on your health, work on your mental health. Make sure you got nutrients. Make sure you're growing food in your house. If you're not growing food in the house, or if you're not turning the house into some type of farm activity or operation, you might be quote unquote gambling with just chance at this point. And at this point, it's best to be right. Go meditate on it. If you in the fifth dimension and you made the jump, you go do the heavy meditation. If you have not made the heavy meditation, if you have not made the jump and you feel like you might be stuck a little bit in the third dimension, then I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. What's being safe? Safe is getting with blue pill, Blue Pillar 44, and H Factor. They have a movement and initiative called Farming. Then I will be jumping in the summertime with the Facts Initiative. All right. We'll be able to assist. We'll be able to help. We'll be able to work out, and you'll be have a downloadable kit, an actual downloadable kit in a PDF form. They will give you the step by step on how to set up an indoor, quote unquote, farming operation. And if we have to come out and set it up in hands on, if we have to send out reps, because it won't be us personally, but if we have to send out our reps to do that in the state that you live in, then we'll arrange that. That's not a problem. Our goal is to have at least 100,000 of us with indoor farming and growing our own food. You feel me? Growing these, and this is not ordinary food that we have. We have superfoods. Okay, we have superfoods. Shout out to V-Cell. We have access to the V-Cell gels. We have access to the A game. A game is a pill for men and women that bring your whole it cures you of brain fog. It gives you energy. It gives you fire. It fires your synapses. Says, how do you think I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do? I'm able to think like a computer. I'm able to process a lot of information at once because I am utilizing these vitamins. I'm utilizing these nutrients. I'm on my shit legit. I'm on my A game. I'm on my V-Cell Seymour's. You know what I'm talking about? I'm on my honey. You know what I mean? And I'm on my tea from Blue Pill. And I got other nootropics like lion's mane mushrooms and things like that I'm doing. A little bit of grounding, some sun gazing. I'm working on it. But that would be you don't need no money to do none of this. You don't need anything but willpower. Start right there. Let's get to that before we get to any type of difficulties, because there's levels to this shit. You feel me? There's levels to it. People want to be Kang the Conqueror, but they don't want to conquer nothing. They want to be King the Conqueror, but they not trying to put in the work to conquer nothing. Cause you gotta put in some work to conquer. Real talk. This shit is about conquering. I'm here to conquer. I'm letting you know that the tools that you need, that if y'all want to talk about conquering some shit, my guy, we have a tool shed filled up with tool belts and tools. We could build castles right now without making any noise. We could build cathedrals. We could build synagogues, not of Satan, synagogues of saints. We could build empires. The tools are here, but I'm not about to be yelling on YouTube and begging people to listen on YouTube and pleading. I don't even have time for that. That's the wrong signal to send to the people anyway, because it's not that serious. Those that know, they know. If those are in the chat that know, just put an emoji, because those that know. I promise you, I'm not just talking out the side of my neck. I know. I'm talking from the point of knowing. I could stand on this shit 10 toes with all of my chest, with every single cell in my body in full agreement. The time is now. This is the ancient future. You're gonna pick up everything that's available and throw that bitch at the motherfucking wall. So nobody is asking you to abandon your God-given right of who you are, molecularly. You know what I'm saying? You better activate the motherfucking cells. You know what I'm talking about? You better turn on your super cells. You better activate your melanin. You know what I'm talking about? Your pineal gland better motherfucking get charged. It better go off and everything. But I'm here to let you know that in the midst of all of that, there are tools that will help you work smarter, not harder. You could bring your dreams to reality. You could build worlds. You could do anything you put your mind to. What more do you need from me? What more do you want from me right now? What more do you want? Not from me. It's not me. I'm just a spokesperson. Real talk. I'm like Max Headroom right now. I'm just talking from the universe. The universe and the dolphins want to know, how much more do y'all need? Huh? Check this out. Let's go to the commercial real quick. This is where we moving. This is the 72-hour boot camp that the people asked for. So we here with it. You know what I mean? We're locking in. We're not talking. We're locking in. You damn right. We are locking in. I'm going on tour. This is going to be 72 hours, not just one time. I'm taking this on the road. It's going to be the 100 income stream 72 lock-in. Then there's going to be the Claude co-work, Claude code lock-in. Then there's going to be the how to make a movie in 72 hours lock-in. We getting locked in. We doing boot camps. Put your phone away, open up your computer, and let's brainstorm. Mastermind principle. Let's get it. There's no more time to waste. If you don't have a job, you're in a better place. Even if you don't got a job, you got time, you got opportunity, you got potential. You better go for it. You know what I'm saying? You better go for it, because ain't nobody gonna hold your hand, but you could go for it though. Check this out.
You've been laid off, passed over, or just tired of somebody else's dream. If you've been laid off, passed over, or just tired of building somebody else's dream, listen close, because what's happening right now in AI is not a trend. It's a transfer of power, and the window is open. There is a new class of operator emerging. They're not coders, they're not corporations, they're the designers, the visionaries, the builders who finally have a machine that matches their imagination. It's called the Claw Bot, and it doesn't just generate ideas, it executes them autonomously, on command, while you sleep. The agentic AI boom is here. Agents that write, build, publish, automate, and operate without hand-holding. And the people learning to command them right now. They're the ones who are going to own the next 5 years, not the ones waiting for a job posting. not the ones watching from the sidelines. The builders, the ones who show up. That's why we built the Open Claw 72-hour boot camp. 72 hours to go from zero to operator. You'll build your first Clawbot, deploy your first agentic workflow, and walk out with leverage you can monetize immediately. 3 days, real skills, no fluff. The revolution doesn't wait, neither should you.
Kinetic knowledge. I want you to look that up. Kinetic knowledge. I want you to look that up. Kinetic knowledge. Dr. Claude Anderson. Dr. Claude Anderson. People are asking about an online version, and I think we might incorporate, because I'm getting so many emails about people who can't make it literally in the physical, but they want to be a part of the online. I am going to talk to my team, and we will have a word for everybody as soon as tomorrow, but I do want to open it up for the online community because we could also teach everybody, but I definitely want people to be there live because I need your undivided attention. I need your undivided attention, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in IRL, so it's going to benefit you to be there live, right? Dr. Claude Anderson, I got solutions. I'm not trying to disrespect the elder. I'm just adding on that I'm Dr. Claude Anderson. All right. I'm going to bring a level of wealth creation. I'm going to bring a level of state of the art solutions. I'm going to bring a level of quote unquote mastermind. I'm going to do things that need to be done, right? To help our people. I'm going to teach them how to use these machines to level up. I'm going to teach them how to use these clawbots. When I say clawbot, it's literally an AI operating system that you own. It's not a part of a corporation. This is open source and I own it. That's why I'm holding a Mac Mini. It is my own computer. It is my own quote unquote server. I own this thing. It is an intelligent machine that learns who I am and does everything for me. It could build websites for me. It could build apps for me. It could quote unquote create videos for me. I got remotion on it. It could cut up videos. It could build MVPs. It could build APIs. It could do so many things that possibilities are now endless. 72 hours. When you leave in 72 hours, you're going to already be locked in. It is kinetic knowledge. Kinetic knowledge means you could take it home and start working with it immediately. You walk out of there with a website that's kinetic. You went and you did something. You're not sitting around thinking, trying to speculate. No, kinetic knowledge. Dr. Claude Anderson. Scan that QR code and meet us in North Carolina. Look, we're going to be off grid. In the daytime when we rise, we will all be doing what? Breathing exercises. We will be grounding. We will be doing what? We will be doing a little bit of workout and whatnot. We'll do a little bit of running. Okay. We're going to do some sun gazing. We're going to have catered vegan food, a vegan menu. There's a gun range. If you want to get some of that stress off, you have opportunity to do that. This is sovereign land. You could bring your trailers, bring your tent, bring your hammocks. It's child friendly as well. We have cabins for couples and whatnot, and it's 420 friendly. Family, work with me. I'm working with you. I need y'all to be in the building because the way that this thing is moving, you need to know about it ASAP. And the way that this AI, it could be confusion. You could be drowning in so much tools and so much information. You know, when that dude from South Africa built the dude, not from South Africa, he was from Ghana, and his name was Noah, and he said that a flood was coming, and he built the ark, and then they clowned him and was like, oh, the flood didn't come and he got locked up. Well, I don't know. They might have to free the guy because a flood did come. There's been a flood ever since he built that ark. The flood, however, is a flood of tools, a flood of information, a flood of opportunities, a flood of APIs, a flood of quote unquote agents, a flood of claws, nigga. That's what the flood has been. A deluge. It's so much shit coming out right now. A nigga drowning in solutions.
link is live. Get in where you fit in. The evolution will be digitized.
So that's the land right there. That's just a snapshot of some of the land. You know what I mean? You can scan the QR code. There's a Q&A in the Eventbrite page. You'll get information on the Eventbrite page, answer any questions that you have. All further information is on the Eventbrite page. I look forward. It is in Polkton, North Carolina, at the Cobbles Landing. It's a Black-owned land, okay, in North Carolina, about an hour outside of Charlotte. I know that the airports are wacky, so we're going to go to North Kakalaka because that's the central point where everybody can drive to, right? Everybody can pull up to North Carolina because it's next to Virginia, Georgia, South Carolina, Alabama, D.C., and all other places in that area. So that's the central location. I encourage y'all to drive. You know, the airports is wacky. I'm going on this 72-hour tour. We're going to be up and down the 50 states. Should you bring a Mac Mini with you? Hell yeah. If you got a Mac Mini, you better bring one. We could put the Claw on your Android phone. We could put it on your Linux computer. And we could put it on your Mac Mini. And we could put some shit on your Chrome. Just come with a tablet or a laptop. That's all you got to do. If you got a Mac Mini, you got to have a screen as well. But bring that if that's what you want. All right, let's get into this thing, man. Let's get into this thing. We had enough warming up of the warm-up. Let's get into the show, all right? More announcements. Check this out. So tomorrow is part 2 of this Pillar Prophecy. I have a new series that I started called Pillar Prophecies. Okay? And Pillars Prophecies are the videos that I'm going to be putting out where the whole video is just full of pure prophecies, man, like things that are mind-blowing. So this was the first part that I put out. This was a mind-blowing interview that I did in 2019. And it was in Virginia, of all places, Norfolk, where my mom was born. So yeah, this is just a few clips.
You don't have no real claims to the land that you had to sign treaties to be on. It's not your shit.
So then that makes it more important for us to know that we are indigenous.
Like I said, what the ADOS will take us to is that conversation.
Yeah, because you
make no mistake about it. It's going to morph into a bigger conversation about, yes, I'm a descendant of a slave, but I could be a descendant of a sovereign as well. You know what I'm saying? Like my people got conquered and they got enslaved. They took our land.
I need 2 checks because
I need 2.
My peoples is from Jamaica and here, so Britain needs to come up off of it, and the United States needs to come up off of it.
I got the, you know what I mean? I need 2 checks, my nigga, 2 phones. Talk to me, like, so, you know, it just is what it is. Those who are on the frequency that are gonna get you where you need to go and edify your culture through your cloth. This is a war drove because we are at war. Spiritual war, intellectual war, economic war, mental war, a culture war. They're going to war against the culture because the culture is at the top. So white men in Nebraska are scared of the sight of their children coming home with a face tat. The one who did the killing in New Zealand, that was a commercial. He is going to. They are championing him. They're not condemning him. He's been championed around the world. His manifesto is being shared amongst mad white supremacists, or what they call race soldiers, and sleeper cells around the world. They are carrying out their inquisition. They are carrying out their crusades. They are carrying out their holy war. And everything is biblical with these people because I'm still in the center of some biblical shit. This is still Virginia, Virgin Mary, Maryland. This is a very powerful place. The District of Columbia, Columbus. These are all ritualistic places, but you gotta wake up the ancestral energy in this bitch.
You gotta wake up. You gotta wake up your junk DNA. You gotta come online, my niggas. And then you're gonna be part of this quote unquote. You're gonna make magic happen. You're gonna be like a superhero. You're gonna be in this Avengers 4 Endgame. Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah, that's the
Endgame.
new one coming
This is
out.
an Endgame. This is Endgame.
To this day.
Thanos already snapped his
To this
fingers.
day.
We did.
Look at this shit. Look at the conscious community. There was a Thanos snap because a lot of niggas turned into dust. Facts. We here operating and moving around and
Thank you for purchasing your ticket. Thank you. Thank you. My face was so smiling when that email came in and it said that the ticket got purchased for the event. I'm telling you, family, listen, as you can see with this video that I'm playing from 2019, I'm doing that to show the family that these conversations that we're having today are simply the conversations that we were having years ago as we were preparing ourselves for these days. It is to establish trust. It is to establish proof of work. This is not something that we did not follow any trends. We created these quote unquote trends. We are this blueprint that we are all experiencing right now. None of this is a mistake. All of this has been planned. This is the universe is conspiring for all of our success. Okay, so I promise you, for anyone that's out there who doesn't have a job, they gave you a quote unquote pension or severance and whatnot. You got fired. You got laid off. Think about it. Would you rather go and work for someone, or would you rather someone work for you? Put one in the chat if you would rather someone work for you, considering all of the work that you've done your whole entire life. Not to mention, you just found out over the past 10 to 20 years that your ancestors were also giving up wild labor, sweat equity, and their IP, right, to a bunch of people who gave them nothing in return. Right? So as long as we are on this page, nothing else matters. I don't want to confuse anyone, because at the end of the day, we don't all have the same politics. And that sometimes gets in the way of how people decide how they are going to quote unquote address the situation or the problem. I am a problem solver. I am coming with solutions. I wear many different hats. This is the hat of a solution right here. I'm not wasting anyone's time. In 72 hours, we're getting completely to something that we cannot get into in 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours or 4 hours. We're locking in. This is a boot camp. I come from a boot camp culture. It was boot camp. I went to shock boot camp in the year 2000 and came home and the towers fell 2 weeks later. Like, and I was listening to Jay-Z's Blueprint, the same album that he's going to Yankee Stadium to perform. 30 years ago, he said that shit dropped. So 30 years ago, boot camp really taught me, it gave me discipline. It gave me discipline. So I'm going to implement a level of discipline, because I know that it's discipline that we need to make us more masterful. I know that it's discipline that we need to make us complete our task. I know that it's discipline that we need to make us lock the fuck in. Because distractions are the opposite of discipline, and that's the shit that keeps pulling our hand. That's the lady in the red dress and whatnot. That's all of these quote unquote signals that they're sending called the noise, and we need to tap into the quote unquote signal, not the noise. That's what we're going to be doing on Black owned sovereign land in Polkton, North Carolina on April the 18th, the 19th, and the 20th. We're going to bring in 420, smoking them cigars that Father Rich got to the ancestors and whatnot, blowing on some sacrament on a bonfire and celebrating the fact that we're locked in and that we have quote unquote agency, and we are not behind the 8 ball and we're not trying to catch up. We're literally ahead of the herd. This is not a black thing either. Everybody's invited. This is a everybody's invited thing. If you want to be a boss and not a worker, I need you to be scanning that QR code right in that upper right there and get yourself a ticket. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'm going to just go ahead and make an executive position. Hold on. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Y'all gotta, I'm very passionate about this. Y'all gotta pardon me. We didn't even get into the show yet. Like, we didn't even get to the main event. This is literally this is the hors d'oeuvres. You know what I'm talking about? This is the hors d'oeuvres. But I think that I know this is one of the most important topics right now, is how to, so many people hitting my phone with money issues, with questions on how to do this, how to do that. You know what I mean? Da 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 da. So it's like, nah, we got to get this shit right now. We why wait? Open, so we're gonna do the boot camp. Give me 1 minute. All right, I just put in I just put the option for the live stream ticket for all 3 days. Boom. I made the executive call. Okay. I hope I don't get in trouble with the front desk and whatnot, but I just made the executive call and I made the live stream option for anybody out there who wants to tap in for all 3 days with from the online. Now, of course, we'll have cameras set up in a tripod. Whenever we're doing the exercises and everything, you'll be right there with us. Whenever we're in the room having conversations, you'll be right there with us. Whenever we're doing the workshops, you'll be right there with us. When we're doing the plant-based medicine and stuff like that, I don't know if you'll be right there with us, but I'll let you know about that. But you'll be with us. We'll got cameras. We will pay cameraman to come out there. You know how Casanet streams? We'll have somebody actually streaming. I can't hold the streaming camera, but we'll have a streamer with the backpack and everything set up, and we'll have a streamer basically running with us, and we'll pay him him or her. We'll either have a volunteer or somebody who will be able to, or we might even barter. We might even barter with someone who wants to do the filming and whatnot, and they'll basically have access to the workshop. They'll get the ticket and whatnot. We'll figure it out. But I need everybody to, I'm not gonna, gasoline is crazy, the airports are crazy. I'm not gonna penalize anybody if they can't make it and whatnot. Streamathon, right? So we're gonna have a streamathon. Exactly. I don't even want the camera to go off. If I had it my way, it would be a streamathon. If we say 72 hours, then F that. Let that shit rock 72 hours. I don't want nobody to be filming me while I'm sleeping. You feel me? But we can make it happen. We can make something happen. So it's lit. You know what I mean? We could do whatever we want. I just want people to know that. We could do whatever we want. So tomorrow I'm premiering part 2. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm telling you, the content, we're going to be putting a lot of content. We getting into our programming. This is a New Year's, ladies and gentlemen. In case you didn't know, we are in a new year and we are going to treat it as such. I don't know about, I'm not here to shame nobody on how they treat the new year, but you know, shit, I'm going to treat mine right. I'm going to treat mine right. We've been hibernating. There's going to be a rollout, as you see, you know what I'm saying? We not just standing around, not doing nothing. We've been working on a lot of shit behind the scenes. Trust me when I tell you. You heard? Trust me when I tell you. Okay? Any questions that y'all have on the Eventbrite, just leave questions. I have a staff. We answer questions. So, but being there in person, that's going to be really powerful. That's going to be a movie. So if that's what you could do, then do that. Happy New Year. This is going to be, the New Year feel good, man. There's bombs over Baghdad and shit like that, but the New Year's feels good. So yes, tomorrow.
It's a lot of
a
people
whole
who
nother
we
show.
started out with.
Because I would love to pick your brain on a lot
of people that we started out with.
Right
The shit like the Avengers. I don't even know. I can't find them on the gram. You feel me?
Not on the tube, nowhere.
Thanos dust. So, and then in the rap game, and then in the streets, niggas got Thanos snap. How many people are missing? You understand? How many people walking around in a stupor? How many people is dust heads? How many people got turned into dust? Is mad niggas missing on my timeline? You understand? So we already in the end game. So what I'm saying is, this is $1 billion industry.
Let them know where to get it.
I could turn cotton into profit.
You can't have that one, though, because that's mine.
kingscounty.bigcartel.com, and another website where we have more of the couture stuff that is launching in the March of Ides this month. March Madness is KNGZKNTY. That's 8 letters, 4. Took out the vowels. Kings County. KNGZ, the phone. KNTY.com. But then before that, we got kingscounty.bigcartel. It'll be right there. And go and click on. It's a Z on. It's almost like a ritual. It's almost like this is an ancestor. This is like an altar. I'm keeping his name alive. I'm in alignment with the principles that was given to us by our ancestors. And they said, keep us alive and in your mouths and in your minds and in your hearts. That way we'll be immortals, right? Immortalize us. Some niggas die young like James Dean. I think Hova said that, right? And that's the illest trick played. That's one of the illest ways to leave this planet and tap out is if you come and you live action-packed, legendary run. Because niggas that die young are like Tutankhamun.
Facts.
Right? The good die young. But you didn't have to live out your whole cycle where you might have lost your luster, where the heroes become villains. So some people, like Tupac, he only had to put in 27 years of work, right? And then he tapped out, and now he's immortalized. He didn't have to go through 80 years and 90 and keep proving himself and all of that. You had a good run. You out of here. Everyone in their hood got a young god that got immortalized. He's a star now. Nigga died at 17. But even people who's doing monumental shit in their 40s is still like, yo, he's the legend. He was the shining star amongst all of us. He's the spark. He's the one that looks over us. He's our North Star. Because we all.
Matter of fact, that was the episode from earlier today. So when you get out of here, check out the upload from earlier today. It's on this channel, Know the Ledger 444. That right there is Pillar Prophecies Part 1. We'll be releasing Part 2 tomorrow. Y'all stay tuned for that. All right? Y'all stay tuned for that. Let's set this off with a video from the good people over there in Tehran. All right? Let's set it off with the video from Tehran. When I say this thing has turned into an AI Sora VO3 war, they're fighting a war. You know how they used to fight wars with memes? They're fighting a war with AI videos these days. The White House is launching shit from their Twitter. Iran is throwing out Sora clips from their Twitter. You feel me? And they're using, it's just real funny what's going on. Brosy, talk to us, Brosy. Let's warm this shit up, Brosy. Let's go.
Why are governments in the International Energy Agency, the IEA, telling you to drive less, work from home, use less fuel, and accept higher prices? Because of a war you're not even in? And here's the question nobody's asking. If this is temporary, why does it look exactly like something we've already been trained for? Let's name everything clearly. The IEA, International Energy Agency, just put out a report telling countries how to deal with oil shortages from Middle East disruptions. Specifically, Strait of Hormuz risk, Iran-Israel escalation, supply shock across global oil flow. Their solution? Not produce more. Use less. They literally recommend work from home mandates, reduce driving, limit transport demand, behavioral changes at population level. This is not theory. That's policy direction, and countries are already aligning with it. But here's what should hit you in the gut. This only works if your behavior becomes controllable. Let's connect this to reality. During COVID, movement was restricted, behavior was guided, compliance was normalized. Now, remove the virus and replace it with energy scarcity. Same structure, different justification. Because oil isn't just fuel, it's everything. Food transport, supply chains, flights, manufacturing. If oil breaks, the entire system slows down. So instead of fixing supply fast enough, they manage you. Through pricing pressure, gas goes up, you drive less. Policy nudges, restrictions, rationing, limits, fines in some regions. You don't feel controlled, you feel constrained. If you're starting to realize there's a pattern behind all of this, comment, scroll below. Because this isn't about oil. It's about what happens when a system cannot sustain itself at scale. Look, here's the part nobody wants to say directly. The global system was built on cheap energy, constant growth, unlimited movement. That model is breaking under pressure. So the response isn't collapse, it's optimization. Meaning, instead of everyone using whatever they want, usage gets shaped gradually. Through higher costs, reduced access, normalized restrictions, temporary policies that don't fully reverse. Not overnight, step by step. In every crisis, COVID, war, supply chain, becomes a reason to install the next layer until the system runs on measured consumption instead of free consumption. And most people won't even notice the shift because it does not feel like control. It feels like this is just how things are now. If you want to see exactly what system you're inside, how it's shaping your decisions, and what to do about it, comment, scroll below.
Gotcha, Brosy. We got you.
The worst part about that video is that it's not just these fringe Christian influencers that think that, it's how people within the US war machine are talking about policy right now. Since Operation Epic Fury, which are those strikes in Iran, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation has received over 200 complaints from troops across 50 installations from every single branch of the military. And remember, those are just the whistleblowers that came forward. They tell stories like that of one combat unit commander who told his officers point blank that Trump has been anointed by Jesus to light the signal fire in Iran to cause Armageddon. And in case anyone doesn't know, that's basically the end of the world as we know it. And additionally, for these types of Christians who think that they will be saved, that's not a grim thing at all, it's euphoric. And this is not even to mock anyone who might believe that. I mean, for centuries, Christian theologians have predicted the end of the world, attached biblical prophecy to modern events, and try to prepare their followers for it. But this is an indictment on the actions of accelerationists, or people who in this case believe that you can speed up the apocalypse through violence or geopolitical catastrophe.
I want you to research this word. This is another word for tonight, accelerationists, right? And then put J.D. Vance, Peter Thiel, and Curtis Yarvin, Yarvin. Curtis, like Curtis Jackson, Yarvin, Yarvin. And go and pull up accelerationists to have a better understanding as to what this ideology means, right? What is this ideology? It's not just another saying. It's not an accelerator like you find in technology. This is the people that are accelerating the downfall or the crash. This is what Elon did with Doge. That's a part of the accelerationist movement. He accelerated the crash by sending all of those people into Doge to do what? Crash the system. Do what? Flop the system. With them dismantling the Board of Education, that's accelerationist. What are they accelerating? The crash. By starting a war with Iran, that's the accelerationist. What are they accelerating? The eschatology, the end of the world biblical narrative, right? The quote unquote script, right? They're accelerating things for the Zios. Go and look it up. Don't take my word for it. Do your due diligence, right? And we'll cover it. We'll go further down the rabbit hole as we continue to explore these topics.
Or people who in this case believe that you can speed up the apocalypse through violence or geopolitical catastrophe. Because people at the highest levels of our government who see this as a predestined holy war are just using that confirmation bias to make things so much worse. With that mindset, footage from a bomb school or a classroom full of dead schoolgirls isn't exactly a tragedy. Any sort of resulting escalation is just proof that things are cosmically headed in the right direction. And that's why conversations that talk about this war in the context of oil, shipping lanes, deterrence, even nuclear weapons are going to be incomplete. Because many Republican politicians in a huge number of their constituents are drunk on the fantasy that this is a holy war and that the worse things get, the sooner the end times will come. But that's all I could fit in this video. If you guys want a breakdown with a full history of these concepts going back centuries with a specific focus on the Reagan era and all my sources listed out, please go to my Substack at History.
Now, there are a lot of talks of the fact that things have been predicted, right? A lot of the things that are going on right now, they're being tied into a quote unquote prediction cycle. So when I say that things are going according to their rule book or to their predictions, let's take a further trip down this. Let's go ahead.
2 aircraft carriers sunk. So these are the scary bits. We've been through the easy bits.
Well,
now
the
we're
bits
heading
that have
to
happened or are happening. Yeah.
Now the scary.
Look up the MJ12 files, right? The MJ12 files. Okay. So, and when he's reading off all of the things in these files, let's just see if these are the things, if these are the quote unquote actions that are appearing in the theater of war.
Stuff happens. So at least 2 aircraft carriers sunk by Iran, Russia, and China using suicide tactics.
So what are suicide tactics?
They have boats that basically they just have a bomb in the front and they just, a guy will drive it and just hit the side of the aircraft carrier and blow it to bits. He'll die.
The kamikaze.
Yeah, kamikaze.
That kind of
thing.
like
the old school Japanese kamikaze. Well, they do that. So,
wow.
So they're going to use
really
those kind of tactics. Yeah, and and they do it for their god or whatever.
Would it also be unmanned?
Israel breaks ceasefire and strikes Iran. Okay, well that happened. Trump responds with B-2 bunker busters on nuclear sites. Iran hits all Gulf oil fields and U.S. bases, blocks the Hormuz and Bab el. Yep, that happened. Oil prices skyrockets, blackouts in Africa and third world. That's happening. U.S. sends 3 aircraft carriers. At least 2 sunk by Iran, Russia, and China using suicide tactics. U.S. tries amphibious invasion, fails first with massive casualties. Second attempt succeeds. Oil fields are seized. Advance halts. U.S. Civil War begins. Anti-war bloc takes D.C. with military support. U.S. splits into 2 and retreats from Middle East. Turkey betrays NATO, joins Russia, Iran, China alliance, attacks. Is it real?
They could do that too. They got drone ones as well, so they could. In that fact, it could just be droned because it's suicidal. Could still just mean it blows up, or the whole boat's gone once it does its job.
That would make sense.
2 aircraft carriers sunk is a pretty big job to do, though. I know that even in America, a long time ago, I can't remember the Nimitz or whatever it was, some aircraft carrier, they were using it for target practice and trying to sink it, and it took them something like a month. Because there's so many compartments and so much air stored in it that they were punching massive holes through it. And in the end, they just started chucking massive missiles into it, and the thing just was hard to sink.
Breaks ceasefire and strikes Iran. Trump responds with B-2 bunker busters on nuclear sites. Iran hits all Gulf oil fields and U.S. bases, blocks Hormuz and Bab el-Mandeb. Oil prices skyrocket. Blackouts in Africa.
This was in 2025, right? This is on 4chan. Remember, like I said, these are the type of things that they take to the prediction markets, right? It's stuff like this that investors are using to bet against on prediction markets like Polymarket and making money off of shit like this. Because if you go ahead and you use this as a quote, if you use this manifesto or if you use this post as a scorecard, you could hit, you know what I mean, on these prediction markets if you follow these posts. So what does that do? That creates now a propensity for people to want to make shit like this to come true. They're putting money behind it now. They're putting energy behind it now. They're charging it up and whatnot. It's called hyperstition. It doesn't have to be true, but so many people putting energy into it will make it come true. You see how that works? That's what hyperstition is. The people could be making this shit come true, right? By them just putting it on 4chan, and so many people, right? So many groypers and gooners and Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirkers and other people reading it, believing it, putting energy into it, right? Gooning to it, shedding blood to it, putting energy, spirit cooking to it. This is how they make these manifestos come to life or birth. The ideas of these manifestos grow through the egregor into realities or into 2D universe or into what they call Malkuth.
And Third World. U.S. sends 3 aircraft carriers, at least 2 sunk by Iran, Russia, and China using suicide tactics. U.S. tries amphibious invasion, first fails with massive casualties. Second attempt succeeds, oil field seized, advance halts. U.S. civil war begins, anti-war bloc takes D.C. with military support. U.S. splits in 2 and retreats from Middle East. Turkey betrays NATO, joins Russia-Iran-China alliance, attacks Israel. China invades Taiwan and Guam. North Korea invades South, Japan fails to stop it. India possibly flips sides. Russia invades Poland and Baltics, links to Kaliningrad. Finland and NATO invade Russia.
You and I are living in a historical moment in time. I'm talking about the last emperor of China levels of historical, in that we're at an inflection point. The 400-year system of colonialism, capitalism, white patriarchy, the system that was supposed to last in perpetuity, according to scholars in the 90s, it's all falling apart in front of us, right in front of our phones. And it's because the world is moving from unipolarity to multipolarity. It's because European powers could only do colonialism back in the 16th and 17th century because they had most of the hard power and most of the money. Now the hard power is spread out around the world. Now the money is spread out around the world. If you're a Western power, you cannot just walk into the room, set all the terms, and always center yourself, because you no longer have the means to. China is rising, India is rising, Africa is rising, ASEAN countries are rising, Mexico is rising, South America is rising, Central America is rising, the Gulf states are rising. Like, everyone is rising except for the West, which is stagnating, homelessness crisis, housing crisis, mental health crisis, lack of community, loneliness epidemic. These are all things that the West is experiencing because it's not equipped in its current stage to deal with a multipolar world, a world where it must treat the people it once subjugated and oppressed as equals. And to the credit of many Westerners, many people have woken up to this a long time ago. They side with minorities. They're incredibly vocal. They actively work towards being anti-discriminatory, work towards uplifting minorities. And those people are going to do well because they have the ability to see the cube and not the square. They have the ability to integrate. And I think where 17th century, where that poison really set in, was a separation of STEM from arts and the humanities, the separation of practical experience from academia. You now have technology that's used to extract from people rather than help society. You have these academics and institutions and think tanks that put out pieces and papers that just don't resonate with the new world, the world that we're moving towards, the world of globalization, the world of integration, the world of pattern recognition. And white patriarchy is being exposed for the poison that it is. And many of us in the West are starting to wake up.
People's eyes are opening, y'all. Like I said before.
אנחנו נלחמים על הבית. אנחנו עושים כל מה שאנחנו יכולים פה. אבל אין פה מדינה אחריך. בשביל להצליח אתה צריך מדינה. אי אפשר לבד. גמרתם את קריית שמונה.
Don't he look like Gru from Despicable Me? My nigga look like Gru, right? Like Gru and Tony Montana mixed at a kid.
עושים כל מה שאנחנו יכולים פה. אבל אין פה מדינה אחריך. בשביל להצליח אתה צריך מדינה. אי אפשר לבד. גמרתם את קריית שמונה, גמרתם את יישובי הגדר, גמרתם הכל! גמרתם הכל כבר! מה אתם עושים? מה אתם עושים, ריבונו של עולם? מה אתם עושים? או שתגידו שאתם לא מסוגלים לטפל באירוע הזה ותשחררו אותנו, או שתעשו מה שצריך כבר, ריבונו של עולם!
Does that sound like somebody who winning to y'all? Did that sound like what MSNBC been telling y'all and all these news channels about how we threatening Iran and they got 24 hours to do this and do that, or we gonna do this and do that? Listen, Israel is getting their ass kicked. The U.S. is getting their ass kicked. Tens of thousands of people have died over there. And they done blew up the airport so they can't even leave. Basically, Israel has turned into Gaza overnight. And they lying to you with propaganda, with what the POTUS and Yahoo is doing. Let me tell you, it's all fake. It's all fake. And we getting our asses kicked over there. So, buckle up. Godspeed. As you can see, the mayor, he done skipped over Yahoo and he asking for God to intervene. So, I don't really know what to tell you at this point. But we
attack in Qatar. There was an attack on their energy system. Qatar's Ras Laffan gas facility, crucial, critical global energy chain. It cost $26 billion to make this facility. And they don't have a clue how much it's going to cost to rebuild and restructure it. This is 20% of the world's global LNG supply. They have a contract with ExxonMobil. They have a contract with ExxonMobil, and they just had to declare force majeure. Force majeure means that they cannot fulfill their obligations, their contracts. They cannot be taken to court for it because this is something beyond their control. So because the facility was blown to smithereens, they cannot fulfill their contract for at least 5 years. They've already said it. Not even like a guesstimation. They said at least for 5 years. It could be more. ExxonMobil is a what? Stay with me, class. U.S.
Breaking news that is indeed breaking.
Hold on, Godiva. Hold on. Let me squeeze somebody in there real quick. Let me see if I scoop.
News right now. A New York Times investigation has revealed that remember when the United States, alongside Ecuador,
So breaking news that is indeed breaking. It turns out we may be in a whole heap of shit, a lot more than we. So breaking news that is indeed breaking. It turns out we may be in a whole heap of shit, a lot more than we expected. Okay, so basically, a lot of people have been realizing nationwide that there has been some tests going on, a lot of tests. So yesterday there was a video of a man who posted a video. Who posted a video of himself in Southern California, and the alarms were blazing. Now, a lot of people claim that it was severe. It was literally just a tsunami warning, but I don't think that that's true, because as I went through the comments, I saw that there were several other people from different states that also had their warnings going off, like their warning alarms in their region going off. Some in Dallas, Texas, some in, I believe, the southeast coast, and then I believe there were some in central, windy cities, that area as well. So my question is for the people in Southern California that was like, oh, that's just a tsunami test, XYZ. Well, then what was that in Dallas, Texas yesterday? And then let's not forget, last weekend for 2 days straight, me and my sister are driving in a car, and we hear, like, literally, she still has like an older model vehicle. I'm talking like early 2000s. There is no like Bluetooth connectivity, like the old school way. You have to like plug in something in order for it to connect. Right. So it can still switch over to her radio. Long story short, it can still switch over to her radio. And we're driving, we're listening to, Kehlani, could you come pick up your clothes and them folding? I'm jamming. I'm like, this my song. Yes. I want your body to side. And in the middle of me jamming and screeching at the top of my voice, that Kehlani song folded. Beep, beep, beep. This is a test. Emergency warning test. I'm like, ain't this like the second, third time this done happened today alone? So for 2 days straight, as we are out and about running our errands, doing what we need to do, the emergency warnings went off. So I know for a fact that this is not just happening on the border states. I know for a fact that this is happening all throughout the United States. And then if that isn't bad enough, the United States basically just lied to the whole world and was like, oh yeah, we supposed to be sending over 12,000 more troops over to Iran and into Isfahan, which is where the nuclear facility in Iran is, right? So long story short, America wants to send over, they're preparing 12,000 more troops. They shortly before they decided to do that, they also lowered or increased the threshold. So before, up to 35 to enlist. You had up to the age of 35 to enlist into the army. Now you have up to the age of 42 to enlist into the army, which lets us know that the numbers are dramatically low. And then on top of that, y'all don't know how many people Iran has already fully enlisted into their service. Let me break it down for you. They have over 2 million. The IRGC has over 2 million soldiers. 2 million soldiers. 2 mil. And they told us, Abbas Argachi, told us to our faces, come on, we waiting for y'all. You didn't actually think that we was going to get into this conflict with y'all and not be prepared. No, baby. We're prepared. We're waiting for y'all. Okay? So believe me when I tell you. Come on. Y'all, we in a lot more shit than we thought. America done lied and told the whole world that Japan gonna come. I'm sending 12,000 more troops. Bitch, we finna get jumped. Japan got on their microphone today and said, I don't know why he told you that bold ass lie. I'm not coming to do a motherfucking thing. No. We are good. You and me, Iran, we're good. We're good. I don't know what that man talking about. I never said that. That's not what I had said. No, ma'am. And then Iran basically said, bump that shit. I'm tired of playing games with all y'all. I'm no longer willing to have conversations with Wig. I'm no longer willing to even so much as talk about a damn thing with Wig. If you want to chit chat with me, send over JD Vance. Send over eyeliner. I knew that was Kat Von D eyeliner. That eyeliner looked too good. I knew that was Kat Von D. I know her foundation ain't really that good, but I heard her eyeliner is to die for, baby. It lasts all day and it's tear proof. So I know his eyeliner got to be either Huda Beauty or Kat Von D. Those are the only two that actually make sense because that's some rich matte black line. Anyways, Iran said that they not willing to talk to Wig no more. We in deep shit. The alarms is blazing around the United States of America. It's real bad right now, girl. Real bad. Okay. And I broke a fucking nail. So like shit's getting harder and harder every day. I just don't understand. But I wanted to let y'all know because this shit is getting wicked. Okay. Oh, on the next video, we're gonna talk about how Iran basically threatened when they said they was gonna black out the entire area, that they would turn the lights off and get busy. They meant that shit. So stay tuned because the next video you are not gonna want to miss.
Why isn't it losing? Everyone.
Iran is weaker. Why isn't it losing? Everyone keeps saying Iran is getting hit. So then why does it still hit back? You're analyzing the wrong battlefield. This isn't a strong versus weak war. It's centralized versus decentralized power. Most armies are built like this. Kill the leaders leads to system collapses. Iran built the opposite. No center, no single failure point, no clean victory. Even if you destroy command, local units still operate. Proxies still attack. Missiles still launch. That's not strength. That's design. Now look at the cost gain. A $10,000 drone forces a $1 million interception. They're not trying to win battles. They're trying to make war too expensive to continue. And then comes the real leverage. 20% of global oil flows near Iran. They don't need a clear victory, just enough disruption to unsettle the system. Oil spikes, markets panic. Pressure shifts from battlefield to global economy. So what are you actually seeing? Not dominance, not victory. It survives impact and spreads the pain. And that's much harder to defeat. Because how do you win against something that doesn't need to win?
How you gonna win when you ain't right with them? How you gonna win when you ain't right with them? All right, let's go.
So we have now won the war once again, this time, maybe beaten the 7th. I don't know how many times we've won.
We've won this. This war has been won. The only one that likes to keep it going is the fake news.
Surprising me that we won, but for whatever reason, you simultaneously increased the enlistment age to 42. You 40, you about to enlist in, hey, bruh, that means you got a lot of problems. Somebody take Son's shoelaces. Because if you enlisted at 40, you got some demons you need to let out. I mean, this tells me that a draft is incoming. And you are, man, what? First round, first pick, prison, uppercut, nigga. Fuck is niggas talking about? Go to war for who? What? Yeah, right. I'm not dying for anybody. Give me my 3 consistent meals, and I'm going to work in the factory line. And guess what? Margin of error, you guessed it. Not death. Shitting me? I'm in prison. Hand-to-hand combat, maybe, at most.
In the New York Times, you read the New York Times, it's like we're not winning a war where they have no Navy and they have no Air Force and they have no nothing.
I mean, personally, this looked like something to me. That looked like a missile that'd be moving, grooving, vibing, sliding. Yeah, catching bodies right in Tel Aviv. Now, if you telling me that we've won the war, we just hanging them out to dry, that sound like a victory plan to me. That's cool. Fuck it. We out. I don't care what you write in history books. You can say it's a dub. As long as we leaving our greatest ally to fight their own battles, man, sign me the fuck up. But to just say that we've won, but then there's troops on the way. Like, you sent troops right now. They're on the way. Did you tell the 82nd? I can imagine they'd probably like to know, like, oh shit, He's saying we won the war. What the fuck we gotta go over there for? West Asia for what? Let's turn the fuck around. Let's go back home. Shitting me. And I mean, this is from Fox News. I know you would not let them lie to us. I know the war is won, but you should know Iraq basically said, hey, what the fuck? Y'all been striking us for what? Yeah, we're about to mobilize. We on Iran's side. They've hated Iran for I don't know how many years, and now they're on the same side. So, I mean, I hope we've won, because if you're sending people over there, this is not a good sign. Again, I'm down to claim victory, because Iran has been talking, and they said, yeah, we heard you're bringing troops on the ground. For more than 2 decades, we've been preparing for this moment. And hey, go ahead, call me pussy, but I know if I heard that, and I was a soldier, along with their other quotes of they're going to turn their ammo crates into my casket, yeah, let's go. Trump said we were, right? Fuck it. We got the dub. Our greatest ally, good luck. Y'all go put troops on the ground for the first time since ever, nigga, since y'all didn't want to help us out with Iraq and Afghanistan. And good luck with that. Also, I think the world would like to know what present you were gifted with by the people we're currently killing. Definitely go down in history as the first war that has been won multiple times. I don't think that's ever happened before. But now, in reality, it's just actually over. I doubt it. We just getting started. They just invaded Lebanon. They're talking about doing Turkey next. What do you mean? This is a forever war, and we're in it.
Yeah. You crossed the ocean just to find your grave. Sacrificed your own boys for a lie. Listen. Yeah. Yeah. Make America great again. Yo, Tails, this shit crazy. Yeah. Make America great again now. We will see what happens, yeah. Watch this. Sacred defense, we protecting the soil. While you sacrifice soldiers to pay for your spoil. You once we ran the globe, sitting on your throne. Now we turning every base into a bed of stone. It's a slaughterhouse, a trap you couldn't see. Welcome to the graveyard of your vanity. The secrets are leaking. The pressure is rising. We locked on the target. And now you are hiding. LOSCR. Yeah, we spelling at your name. Send them to the slaughter, you the only one to blame. Bleeding for a puppet while you shaking in your sweet. LOSCR. Taste the ash of defeat. LOSCR.
Look like somebody else is using Anthropic Claude. Other than the Pentagon, these niggas are having AI wars, y'all.
Yeah, we spelling at your name.
There's an AI battle rap. Tell Jay-Z they got AI battle rap, y'all.
Send them to the slaughter, you the only one to blame. Bleeding for a puppet while you shaking in your sweet. LOSCR. Take the ash of defeat. Fighting in your
Smack GPT, y'all. They got Smack GPT. The AI. What the fuck? Crazy. That Iran put this out.
soup hot in Epstein's ghost. You sent your boys to die on the bloody coast. Not a revenge for the leader's blood is purely mine. Every drop of his blood is a missile on the line. You thought you took him out, thought the fire was dead, but another commonality is standing ahead. Yeah, you strike one down, we just shatter your brain. We put another in the leg. Commonate again. The secrets are leaking. The pressure is rising. We locked on the target. And now you are hiding. LOSCR. Yeah, we spelling out your name. Send them to the slaughter, you the only one to blame. Bleeding for a puppet while you shaking in your sweet. LOSCR. Taste the ash. LOSCR. Yeah, we spelling out your name. Send them to the slaughter, you the only one to blame. Bleeding for a puppet while you shaking in your sweet. LOSCR. Taste the ash of defeat. Take sacred defense of the homeland. Sacred defense of the homeland. Sacred defense of the homeland. The slaughterhouse is open. Common name cash. LOSCR.
Yikes. It's a whole meme war. Right? It's a whole entire meme war. This would be shared around the world through multiple different accounts and stuff like that. Yeah, that's but it's a level of warfare though. Quiet as kept. We laughing at it and everything, but this still meme warfare is real. This is literally a missile. This is literally a missile. You feel me?
Breaking news that is indeed breaking. I'm not in a fucking mood. Laura, baby, Crimson Chin. Did you take your medicine? Did you take your medicine this morning? I don't think you took your meds, girl. Laura says that she has a hunch, a sixth sense, which, by the way, don't you work for the Mossad? She has a hunch that there's going to be a massive Islamic terror attack in America, and the perpetrators will likely have financial ties to podcasters and those who are sowing discord for foreign nations in America. We know that you're trying to platform Candace Owens. We know that you're trying to, anybody that falls within that category that has basically questioned Israel and that has questioned America's role in what's going on. We know that you're trying to platform them and trying to cover up for what there is some kind of 9/11 style attack on American soil. We don't give a shit, girl. We truly don't. Because one, we see right through the bullshit. Two, we know you ain't been on your meds in a while. Three, we saw that you mixed that Lexapro and that alcohol not too long ago when you was breathing heavy in that man's face and trying to hunch him. And he very clearly did not want to hunch you at that Republican National Convention. Okay. 4, this is textbook Mossad. This is textbook. Who else other than America and Israel? This is textbook. Okay. We didn't ask for your hunches. We didn't ask for any of that. You could have kept that to yourself, baby. I promise you we would have been able to come to this exact same conclusion without your hunch. She said that I predict there will be many casualties, and only then will it may be set in that people have been conned into supporting a terrorist psyop to distract you from the threat of Islam. How come you couldn't predict that all that surgery that you got done on you would end up looking like that? I'm just asking questions since we out here making predictions. How come you couldn't predict that that the same is the people that are at a, and that their religion is Islam? How come you couldn't predict that they was gonna sue your ass into oblivion and leave you broke with nothing but 2 nickels to rub together? Matter of fact, not even 2 nickels. They took that with him. How come you couldn't predict that when they did sue you, the exact same party would not support you in said lawsuit and would ensure that those people won said lawsuit and that they left you broke as a motherfucking joke? How come you couldn't predict that? How come you couldn't predict that had you just kept your motherfucking mouth shut, you wouldn't be broke with a jaw wider than the state of Texas? Why you ain't predict that? You predicting shit, but you predicting all the wrong things, Laura. I feel like there are people that can make those predictions, that are more qualified to make said predictions. But the things that you should be having hunches and predicting about, you somehow it went over your head and you missed the mark, girl. You completely missed the mark. Not only that, you've been weirdly obsessed with Candace Owens for the longest, trying to coin yourself as like the white Candace Owens, I guess, for a very long time. And the biggest obsession that you have had has been with Islam. So I don't think that a lot of people are going to take your word for it. Not that we don't think that a 9/11 style event would happen. We're fully aware that they've been trying to do this for a very long time, trying to convince us that the issue is Islam and the Arabs. But in fact, it is literally just them. It's literally just you guys. It's like we ripped the mask off of the monster at the end of Scooby-Doo. It's just you guys. Surprise, surprise, surprise. So yeah, we're aware. We are aware. They've been trying to do this for a while now. We're aware. They've been setting the stage up, girl. For a while. Listen, but did you take your medicine is what I'm saying. Are you on your meds, Laura? That is something that we really do need to be looking into. Okay, let's try and set those things aside and focus more on self-care, Laura, and making sure that you are not having any more mental breakdowns in public or mixing alcohol with those medicines, because that's not what you're supposed to be doing, baby girl. Okay? We know. Get you a nap or something. Go lay down. And last but certainly not least, we don't need your hunches. We don't want to trust your senses, okay? Because them senses and hunches of yours led you down to the gates of hell, my love. Go take a nap. Go lay down somewhere. Thank you. Thanks for the information. We're just going to stick that up on the refrigerator. Put a nice pretty little magnet over that. Okay? Go lay down. Go take a nap.
Be to start a COVID-style lockdown without a virus? No, I'm kidding. The virus is just us defunding everything that keeps us safe 8 times in a row, mind you. They're going on 6 weeks without pay. It's all part of the plans. They're going to fund everything that doesn't keep us safe, whether it's $170 billion to something called ICE. No one even knows what they're doing, right? And then $220 billion because we ran out of money for missiles. Either way, the important part is you can't have a lockdown if the airports are operational. Yep, they need the TSA to strike. They need a manufacturing crisis. Airports are your lifeline. The draft's not going to work if they don't shut them down first. ICE is underqualified. It's only getting violent. They love when you're in lines and you're missing flights, and it'll only get worse until the midterms. And you don't have to worry about deserters if the airports aren't in service. Fallouts have reached an all-time high, so the plan is working. They're starving them out. And it's fucking what? The DHS has been defunding them for years. Now they're just going to surround them with ICE agents from central casting or aren't wearing their masks all of a sudden anymore. Either way, the State Department ordered nonprofit libraries to stop processing passport applications. They want a private, non-unionized police force in your airports, and now they're going to get it. So, you know the deal. Only leaving home for essential travel, avoiding all air travel, you know what I mean? You don't want to be a bad person. Remember COVID? They did it again. All you had to do was start a world war when you had no money or resources. Have a good day.
I just replaced your job? Good! That was never your destiny. Here's how to escape the matrix and make money bend to your scroll. You were trained to trade time for money, but AI just shattered that illusion. If you want money to obey you now, you need 2 things: quantum structure and nervous system sovereignty. Let me break it down. Step 1, anchor your scroll. You are not here to chase random business ideas. You are encoded with a divine pattern. When AI automation hit, that wasn't a loss. It was an eviction notice from the wrong timeline. Step 2, install AI that reflects you. Everyone's scared of AI because they don't understand it. AI is not evil, it's neutral. It mirrors the one commanding it. I use mine to generate leads, close sales, deliver offers, and even write proposals all while I sleep. Step 3, collapse the fear loop. Your nervous system was wired for survival. It resists overflow. You've got to retrain it to receive, not panic. This is your daily ritual. Stand barefoot. Speak your true name out loud. Command money to serve your mission. Then breathe like it's already done. Do this every day and your field will shift. You're not behind. You're just unplugging from a dead system. The new economy doesn't need a resume, it needs a scroll. Comment 888 if you're ready to activate yours. I'll map it with AI and show you how to build cash flow from your true self.
To see if people are aware how much the financial landscape has changed. In November, black men, there were 9.9 million black men employed. February of 2026, that number dropped to 9.4 million, which means there's a 500,000 black men were employed 4 months ago that are not employed now. Black women, 10.4 million black women were employed in November. Okay. And in February, 10.2 million women. So women experience just a 200,000 job deficit. Couple with no kids needs roughly 60K to 100K household income for survival. A family with 2 children needs 95K to 150K household income to survive.
Kids.
Parent, right? Yeah. Put a whole 50K gap on it, right?
Yes.
I said the cost of raising these kids, right?
What about the entitlement of women, though?
It is there.
Like the ones that say, like, I don't want no man that wants 50-50.
Women or men are still trying to find love. We're still going out there with the same set of expectations, even though the landscape has completely shifted. And we're no longer in a world where more men are employed than women, because now more women are employed over men. And the expectations need to change, but we can't stop fighting over what we bring into the table, right? As opposed to what the hell does the table require? Because the table has gotten bigger. The needs are more. The cost of living is higher. The rent is higher. Your fixed expenses. We're not talking about luxury. We're talking about day-to-day living has significantly went up, and it is more than the average person is earning. We're talking middle class numbers here. This doesn't even scratch low income. Person who working at the Dunkin' Donuts, person who working at the CVS, right? I hate to say it, but I knew when I was dating, I couldn't date a person who had that job if they weren't the regional manager of the franchise, or, I couldn't date the guy who was taking my order. And not because he's not a good guy, not because he's not working an honest living, but because when I look at what is required to support the cost of living, I know that I'm walking into a situation where I'm going to significantly have to pull more weight.
Dating and marriage is a business.
It's a business. And in a business decision, is it smart for me to go into business with you, knowing that you might not be able to bring home more than $30,000, $40,000 a year? And that just pays for childcare.
And to me, that goes into your choices, your life choices.
Yeah.
So-
Whatever got you
Absolutely.
to here, this is a result of a continuous amount of changes that you've made. And I don't know if you've healed from that yet, or you figured that out yet.
Well,
And
lack
I
of
don't wanna
opportunity.
Take that up. I don't want to take that on.
Passed over, or if you've been laid off, passed over, or just tired of building somebody else's dream, listen close, because what's happening right now in AI is not a trend, it's a transfer of power, and the window is open. There is a new class of operator emerging. They're not coders, they're not corporations, they're the designers, the visionaries, the builders who finally have a machine that matches their imagination.
For all of the people that are out there, brothers and sisters, with jobs and without jobs, wanting to fire their boss, wanting to get rid of the 9-to-5, I'm here to let you know, the same way that Moses came down from the mountain with the tablets, I'm here to let my people know, let my people go. I'm here to let my people know, let my people go. I'm going to your boss, Pharaoh, let my people go, right? It is about getting your time back. It is about capturing your time. It is about your sweat equity, but something that is the most important asset is the time. And I promise you, right now, we live in a day and time where you actually can get your time back. Instead of working for somebody, you can have 100 agents working for you. Every single one of those agents can be programmed to work for you the same way that you had HR set up a whole department of people to work for the CEO or to work for the corporation. Don't take my word for it. Go and do the research. I will not steer you wrong. I'm putting my, I'm standing on it. I did the research. I did the practices. I was in school the whole winter and whatnot. I was getting certified. I did everything. I started building, right? I have people around me who have tools out there, who have apps, who have websites. The future is now. There's nothing to wait for. Really, what we need is to put our brains together, our minds together, the mastermind principle. That will solve a lot of things. Instead of arguing and exerting energy on the social media about the gender wars and all of the distractions, we literally could build. We could be building. We could come up with 99 problems and solve them shits. I promise you.
It's called the Claw Bot, and it doesn't just generate ideas, it executes them autonomously, on command, while you sleep. The agentic AI boom is here. Agents that write, build, publish, automate, and operate without handholding. And the people learning to command them right now. They're the ones who are going to own the next 5 years, not the ones waiting for a job posting, not the ones watching from the sidelines. The builders, the ones who show up. That's why we built the OpenClaw 72-hour boot camp. 72 hours to go from zero to operator. You'll build your first Clawbot, deploy your first agentic workflow, and walk out with leverage you can monetize immediately. 3 days, real skills, no fluff. The revolution doesn't wait, neither should you.
I could imagine if I got let go with a severance, or if I got let go with a parachute, or if I got let go and grab some of my 401k, and I'm trying to figure out in the month of March in 2026 how to move ahead. And people are just telling me some outdated type of ideas and whatnot. Meanwhile, you got Claude Code, you got Perplexity Computer, you got Manus AI, you got Kimi 2.5, you have Quinn, you have Higgsfield 2.0. What? You got Nano Banano 2, you got Gemini 3, you got AI Studios from Google. What? You got Anti-Gravity. What? And I'll be sitting around waiting for somebody to do something for me. And I literally can basically create from an idea to a protocol to a product in 24 hours time, whether it's an app, whether it's a website, any type of idea. And then if I don't get it done in 24 hours, at least I get the ball rolling. Something that was costing me $20,000 to do, I could do it for about $200 to $20, starting at $20, because that's the monthly fee to have Claude, or that's the monthly fee for any of the apps, Manus, Kimi. Everything starts at 20. Then you might have a $200 subscription. But so what? The hell you talking about? How much do you niggas pay to go to school? How much do you pay to work? How much do you pay to breathe? What do you mean? When I was living in New York, I was paying. You think I'm joking? Literally a minimum $100 every day I step out the house. I didn't even have to be doing anything big that day. Minimum $100 a day, and I'm not driving in New York, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm driving in New York, it's still about $80, $75 to $80. If I'm on a train and I'm moving around and I'm going places just to eat, just to basically travel, just regular, I don't know. It's just life be life and $100. So no. I sacrificed. I didn't go out. I didn't burn gasoline in the car. I didn't run around all winter and whatnot. I stayed still. I saved my money and I put it where it turned into an investment. I didn't, quote unquote, depreciate. It wasn't depreciating. It was appreciating. When I was running around, I was blowing through. I'm talking, man, I was blowing through the bag. The shit was like tumbleweeds. And I was just running around and I wasn't building. Once I hunkered down and hibernated and just settled and laser focused, I'm able to build now. You have the opportunity to do that. Like I said, I would rather teach people how to fish than to have a fish fry, right? So the 72-hour boot camp is literally be you know what I mean? It's ironic we have a lake over there with fish, but you're literally gonna learn how to fish. I got experts that are coming with me that will be teaching us. We're going to put the whole agenda out by Monday and whatnot on the Eventbrite. We'll have all of the names of the people that are going to be pulling up for the 72 hours. Like I said, it starts in Charlotte. It starts in North Carolina, the 72-hour boot camp. But we do have 4 other boot camps scheduled. Okay, so this is going to be something I'm going to be on the road doing this. It won't even be, everyone won't be on the strong end or on a weekend. We'll have a 72-hour boot camp from a Monday to a Wednesday, from a Wednesday to a Friday. You feel me? So look out for that. Houston, look out for us. DC, look out for us. Atlanta, look out for us. Miami, look out for us. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there. This is where our brothers and sisters, the algorithm is strong out there. We have tech hubs out there. It started with the Facts Initiative, the food, the art, the clothing, the technology, and the shelter. I've been planting seeds in different regions and in different states ever since like 2015. So when we do these boot camps, I got some of my students are now teachers. Some of my students are now masters. Original Black God is a student of the fantasy complex industry. And yes, he will be in the Imaginarium on Friday. I do want to make that announcement. Let me make that announcement. My good brother, Original Black God, will be at the Imaginarium on quote unquote Friday for class number 9, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing a 90-day accelerator in the Imaginarium. What is the Imaginarium workshop going to be able to help me, brother Red Pill? The Imaginarium workshop shows you how to use Claude and Claude Code, how to automate making animations. The Imaginarium is going to show you how to make short film. The Imaginarium is going to show you how to make comic books and monetize it. The Imaginarium is going to show you how to take ideas and whatnot and create products out of them. The Imaginarium is going to show you how to take prompts and create a prompt library, so you basically could turn those prompt libraries into skills, plugins, or other forms of automated agents that will help you build in automation. The Imaginarium is going to help you stretch your Imaginarium, focus your mind as to what it is that you need to do in a collective. It's a whole group of us working and whatnot. And what do? We take our imaginations, we take our stories, we take what is we take what is possible, and we create universes and worlds around them. That's what we do. We don't wait for Hollywood. We don't wait for nobody to tell us anything. We don't do any of that. We have our imaginations, and the best nation is the imagination. We could think our way into multi-universes. We could think our way into the victory. Viva la Cuba. Viva la revolution. Okay? Viva, nigga. Viva. So, might want to sign up to that workshop to be there on Friday when our good brother Original Black God comes through, because of course he's going to be giving us the source on how to make an animated movie. And if you could make an animated movie, what can you do? You could make millions of dollars right now. You could do what Hollywood is doing. What you mean? Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. I'll take you over to Hicksville and I'll show you how sure I am, right? I'll show you how sure I am. Hicksville, they're making movies. Okay? They're making movies at Hicksville. Okay? This is going down right now as we speak. Let me show you. Hicksville is a mini is turned into a whole cinema studio, right? So here goes cinema studio for Hicksville, right? Where you literally could create characters, right? You could create video. We just creating right now. Preliminary. So this is almost like a we could you create storyboards and then you build from those storyboards and you make worlds and whatnot. But this is look, they got their own series. They got a bunch of series here. All of this is being done with the same tool that everybody has access to.
Found Pablo. Third car from the end.
Kiss from mommy.
Right? So that's Higgsville. Okay. $20, $30. Shit is affordable. You know what I mean? And you literally could make your own films. So we're using Higgsville to show people how to do their own films, but we're also using other tools and whatnot. The ball don't stop right there, but it's lit right now. And nobody is going to tell you, I will. And we have a whole workforce and we have a whole team right now, and everybody is learning how to create. Everybody's learning how to be a creative. Everybody's learning how to use the tools, the tool belts, and the tool shed. I'm going to just leave you with these three, and then I got to shut it down for the night. Well, we got a few more clips, and then we're going to shut it down. But we focus on tools, right? Think Home Depot. Think construction worker. So construction workers might go ahead and get a phone call and somebody might need help, and they go ahead and they give them, they go outside of their construction company and they go and do a job and they bring a tool. It might be a simple tool like, hey, I need you to put something up on a wall. I need you to take a nail out of wall. The person will bring a hammer, right? That's a simple job. So in an Imaginarium, we focus on tools, single tools such as hammers, wrenches, and saws. Just use that analogy and apply that to AI tools, right? AI tools like Midjourney is a tool. Nano Banana is a tool. Chat GPT, these are tools, right? But then you also have power tools, right? Power tools would be like, quote unquote, instead of a hammer, you have a hammer gun, right? Instead of a screwdriver, you have a drill. So these would be power tools. So right now, Higgsville is a power tool. It's not just a tool, it's a tool shed, right? It's not just a tool belt, it's a tool shed. It has multiple APIs or multiple tools inside of the shed. You go inside of the shed and you could build a house. You go and get one tool, you can't build a house with one tool. You get a tool belt, you can help build up the house. But if you get a tool shed, you could build a house. So we're helping our people go from tool to tool belt to tool shed. From tool to tool belt to tool shed. And in the very near future, as Imaginarium, we will be offering these triple tiers and whatnot. But that's how we're walking our people. We're going to help you master one tool. Then we're going to help you master the tool belt. Because on that belt of tools and whatnot, you might say, I want to make a music video. All right, boom, here's the tool belt right here. These are all of the tools you need to do a music video for 3 minutes. You want to do a short film? All right, boom, here's a tool belt for that. All right, this is how much that tool belt costs. Oh, shit, you want to build out a film studio? Here's the tool shed. These are the tools you'll need. These are the APIs you'll need. This is the budget that you'll need. This is the time that it will take. These are the agents that you would need in order to build out. That's how that works. Imaginarium, ladies and gentlemen. Join us. You know what I mean? Be a part of our dreams. Be a part of our vision. Be a part of our quote unquote network, because your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. And I don't know nobody in this world whose network is iller than this network right here. I promise you. That's not me even being braggadocio. My network is crazy. Fact. My network is crazy. You know? So we building our own world. We not waiting on nobody. We not waiting on permission. It is a free for all until we say it's not. Okay? It's time to make this shit happen. I'm not sitting around waiting for nobody. Dead ass, because I'm not following nobody. I'm not even what's the word? If somebody come to me and ask me for somebody or for some help, I can't send you to nobody because I don't know what nobody is doing. I have no idea, and I will not attempt to try to figure out what I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. That's the only person that I'll send you to because I only know what I'm doing right now. That's it. I'm only focused on what I'm building. I could only tell you that right there. I can't send you to nobody. I can't give you advice for shit. I can't point you in no direction. I know what I'm doing. Let me figure that shit out. And that's where I'll point you to, because this is where the solutions are at. We got what you need. We have the solutions. And if we don't have the solutions, we will let you know. Nah, fam, I don't have the solutions for that. I don't have a solution. Yo, talking about I can't, man. I don't know how it's going to sleep. Right now, there is no sleep. Okay? There is no sleep. It's too much going on. You know what I mean? Sleep is a fucking credit. I need to tokenize sleep. Man. They need to tokenize sleep because sleep me no get. You know? Come on.
On your feet, boy!
And ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you another episode of our favorite show on YouTube. That is White Women Entertainment. Let's go. Shout out to Drewski.
Get on your feet, boy!
War is raging in Iran.
We're praying for all the soldiers and troops.
That's great that you're praying, but
how about all the kids that died when the USA hit the towers?
It broke my heart. That is the
In what ways have you grown closer to Jesus?
I serve a righteous God. And that is why we say our prayers. We are all his children. But when I say children, I mean like the holy, blessed Trinity, which is why I hold the Bible. Sweet cream foam chai ice matcha. And Bella will have all organic pup cup. Organic? Yes, everything organic. Oh, say does that star spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free.
4, 3, 7. Oh, Hannah, you good? 4, 3, 2. Hold your chest lifted. We're gonna lift.
We have to protect all men in America, especially all white men in America. Those are the boys that we care about in this country. America is built on their backs. Yes, because they are the ones who mattered most.
Oh, man. This nigga is hilarious.
Good morning and breaking news that is indeed breaking. Let's go ahead and get into some geopolitics.
All right. So I'm going to have to. Okay, here's the meta article. Right. Let's get into our articles as we wind this thing down. Right. Here's our articles as we wind this thing down, ladies and gentlemen. Meta and Google ordered to pay $6 million to 20-year-old woman who claims she became addicted to Instagram and YouTube, right? So she clapped both of them. Meta and Google paid $6 million. She was able to prove in court. You gotta have to read the case law or the case. You gotta read the this case to figure out what exactly took place in court that she was able to hit both Meta and Google, YouTube and Facebook, who she sued for her addiction as a child, right? They got their ass handed to them today in court. And of course, that's going to open up the floodgates for so many other people to go ahead and do class action lawsuits and go and get them and whatnot. In news coming out of Colombia, right? Putumayo, the same place where I went for my ayahuasca, and I'm almost ready to tell that story. I'm still integrating, but my integrating is becoming I'm winding down on my integration from my trip. So in Putumayo, there was a military plane crash with 66 deaths. I'm just keeping people updated because there's a lot of freakish stuff that has been going on in Colombia after we left and whatnot. So I'm just keeping people updated as to some of the things that is still happening in Colombia. All right. But this was a military plane and it took 66 soldiers and whatnot. And I remember talking to everybody about the presence of the military when I landed in Putumayo. That they were the standouts. They were the force that I was made aware of the minute I landed in Putumayo. And also Spirit was telling me about the connection with the petroleum. Once again, the world is going to war about petroleum. We talked about petroleum, or the spirit of petroleum, not just oil like they're talking about it, more like black goo, more like petroleum being an entity, more like the petroleum that they're extracting from these lands and whatnot, being more like a blood, being more like a life force, being more like something that needs to be paid more attention to. Because when you look at the role of petroleum when it comes to what they call the third world, or these nations that are rich in on paper but impoverished and whatnot, they're dealing. And when you look at the role of how petroleum played in suffocating, how it was weaponized, how it was used for damage and whatnot, cocaine. You have no cocaine without petroleum. You have petroleum clothing, right? Polyester, microplastics. What has it done with nylon? Petroleum as oil and whatnot. Look at how many people die in the Delta, in Nigeria, all over South America, Latin America, Middle East. All of that petroleum for what? When we were working on free energy, when we were working on shit, the Tesla coils and whatnot, the petroleum, the DuPonts, all of that stupid shit, William Hearst and whatnot, them shutting down hemp, them shutting down the natural crops of this earth, the cannabis and shit like that, right? All of that petroleum is no bueno, is no good, right? So we're gonna get more into that story. They call it black gold in Texas. Yeah. Good. Look up black goo. Look up black goo. Think venom, right? Think venom. Look up black goo, Morgellians and stuff like that. Think venom though. When we're talking about this crude oil and this petroleum, what is, if you're talking about Leviathan waking up, is it dragon's blood? What is petroleum? It's not fossilized dinosaurs. It's not fossilized dinosaurs. We know that. We know that, right? We know it's not dinosaurs. Okay. Next show is not gonna be on this show that I do this video. This next video that I'm gonna have to do on this topic that's coming up is gonna have to have its own show. Today, I'm just gonna preface it. We have a lot to talk about with Jay-Z. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have a whole standalone video. What Jay-Z said wrong in the GQ interview. Now, I'm going to point 3 things out, and then we were going to revisit, because this is a standalone video that I'll be doing on the Jay-Z situation. 1, he is having a concert at Yankee Stadium to commemorate the Blueprint, right? Album, and also In My Lifetime, right? And the person that was interviewing him was not alive when that album came out. He was not alive. The child that was, so he conveniently had somebody interview him who wasn't even alive when the album came out. The child offered no pushback whatsoever to the interview because he was not there when the album came out. I don't know if that GQ interview was about pushing his concert that he's doing in Yankee Stadium, but just to put it into context as to who he chose to interview him in his interview when he first came back, it was a child who was not even alive when the album Reasonable Doubt, maybe the Blueprint, but when Reasonable Doubt came out, that child wasn't even alive. So the way that he sees Jay-Z is not the way that somebody who grew up with Jay-Z sees Jay-Z, who would have immediately shut down a lot of the shit that he was talking about. Most importantly, the second thing, or the third thing that I'm going to point out when I do my Jay-Z video about what I did not approve of, or what I saw wrong, because this is an honest critique. This is coming from somebody who did Blueprint 322 in the year 2010, when we publicly, when it was seen as taboo, when it was seen as career suicide, when it was seen as dangerous to even go after somebody of a caliber of a Jay-Z, or just say, yo, we got questions and whatnot, and this is our research. Blueprint 322, Red Pill, Blue Pill, AA Rashid, Black Dot, right? He said that there's 4 pillars in hip hop, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what hip hop he's referring to. More than likely, like I've said before, and I'll say again, Hip Hop Incorporated. He didn't even know the 5 pillars of hip hop, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even think he's aware of what the acronym of hip hop stands for. There's literally a 5th pillar of hip hop that anybody that wears a gods and earth necklace, he originally supposed to know exactly what that is. The fact that he omitted a pillar of hip hop, which is the 5th pillar, which is consciousness, with the foundation of what hip hop is built on, higher infinite power healing our people. Let's say this together, ladies and gentlemen. This is an invocation. This is a mantra. Higher infinite power healing our people. That is hip hop. Knowledge reigns supreme over nearly everyone. That is KRS-One. King Asiatic, right? Nobody's equal. That's Big Daddy Kane. King Asiatic, nobody equal. So the fact that he was trying to say that the 4th pillar was battle rap, right? Which is not, is microphone control, which is MCing. Battle rappers are the highest form of microphone controllers, because when you're battle rapping, you are exhibiting all 4 or all 7 of the liberal arts in real time. Okay, you are exhibiting all 7 of the liberal arts simultaneously. Battle rapping, where you're literally in combat with somebody, and you know that he said that they should kill battle rap. You know that he said that they should take, you know, he said he hates battle rap. You know that he said that they should do away with battle rap. Do you know that this man got on TV with a teenager, a young man, interviewing him, and said that battle rap does not belong in hip hop? He didn't say drill music. He said battle rap is hurting people. Battle rap is messing up lives. Battle rap is making people. He didn't address the 100 plus drill rappers that are dead. No, 1,000 plus drill rappers that are dead. He did not address the music of the trap rap where so many people died, got their heads blown off, tied up, babies got shot, all type of shit. They walk people into these jails and whatnot. He's supposed to be even advocating for helping people get out of jail, like Emery and them. He didn't say that he didn't like trap rap. He didn't say that he didn't like avant-garde coke rap like Griselda and other people that he signs. He attacked the brothers from Smack DVD and Loaded Lux and all of these people that are feeding their families who exhibit a high form of artistry and performance arts when they're doing quote unquote battle rap, even if they take that shit to the limits and whatnot. I have not heard of any battle rapper spinning the block and killing a battle rapper. I have not heard of any battle rapper funerals getting shot up. I have not heard of any battle rappers making songs about other battle rappers that they killed. What is this man speaking of? How far gone is this man? He had the nerve to have an African mask on the cover of the GQ magazine, as if this. Now I understand why La Russell is doing the goofy shit that he's doing, because this nigga is being deep when being deep goes wrong. He's one of these fake woke niggas when trying to be deep goes wrong. You in that interview, he was trying to sound intellectual. He's cosplaying an intellect. That's not even who he is. He is cosplaying Nas. And he was salty about Ether. Exactly. In the whole conversation, the nigga has not gotten over Ether. That is the only reason why he doesn't like battle rap, because that was a field that he did not dominate. He's trying to erase it. He's trying to write it off because he wants the Ether shit to go away. He's still in his feelings about Ether. When a young man brought up Nas, he was like, yeah, that was my friend. I didn't even want to battle him like that. You lost. You lost, Trump. This nigga's Trump. This is Donald J. Trump and somebody else's Iran. He said that the Drake shit, he tried to stick up for Drake. He wasn't honest about Drake. That's why he sounded like he was nigga-splaining. I got so many indictments. That's what I'm saying. We need our own video. Listen, he said that he was mad about the way the niggas handled Drake. You're not keeping it real. He was niggas explaining. He didn't keep it real, because if he kept it real, it would have resonated and he would have went viral. He didn't say, yeah, I'm glad that they stepped on that nigga Drake because he's a hoe. And we told him to watch the throne, and he was pissing on my throne. He was talking greasy, and I had to clean him up in one of my rhymes when he was talking about when he did the remix. Nigga, we made it with Jay Electronica. He came after him then. Then he also came after him. It was mad sneak disses from Jay-Z against Drake. And Drake was coming after him sneak dissing too. What is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? He's throwing rocks and hiding his hand, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I didn't resonate with nobody real, because we're literally watching him talk. And it's like, you don't really feel like that. You don't really feel like that. You're mad because Kanye said that your kid looked retarded. That's what he's mad at. He's holding on. The niggas try to tie him to Epstein. They was cooking him in the comment section, and they was talking, and Kanye was talking about his kids. He's mad at shit like that, and he's trying to quote unquote punish the little people because he don't know how to address his issues. He's mad that he got caught out there with that Diddy shit, and whatever amount of money that he had to spend to clean his act up, now he's getting up there and he's acting pompous and he's punching down. How dare you say they should get rid of battle rap? What did battle rap do to you? What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, niggas got locked up. Geechee Gotti and Surf is locked up. But how many trap rappers went to jail? How many trap rappers are dead? How many drill rappers are dead? How many gangbangers are dead? How many coke rappers are dead? How many motherfucking finesse rappers are dead? What are you speaking of, man? What are you talking about? And he didn't give Kendrick his proper props. Yeah, Kendrick should have said, yeah, Kendrick handled that nigga. He spanked him, and he didn't do it. He didn't bring the culture down. He did it quote unquote artistically. Nobody got bodied, nobody got shot at, nobody got beat up, nobody got jumped. He cooked that nigga and collected a check, went on tour and went home. Sean, he did what you supposed to have did with Nasir, sir. What do you mean? You're gonna go to Yankee Stadium? How you gonna perform Takeover? Yeah, you trying to erase history. You got cooked in a battle. When you hear the word battle rap, niggas start you start, you know what I mean? Your locks start unlocking. You do that laugh right there, like Rumi. And I don't know, bro. That was real weird to me. Like, that's not big homie energy. That is not big homie energy. That was, it was very Basquiat of you to talk like that about the culture. Then you don't even know that there's 5 pillars in hip hop. I find that alarming. This nigga said it's 4 pillars, and then he said the 4th pillar was battle rap. He said breakdancing is dead. He said graffiti is dead. It's not dead. It's just not, y'all niggas don't control that. It's not a part of the Rock Nation roster. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's not a part of the roster. Graffiti is alive. But listen, the pillars in hip hop is not graffiti, it's art. Nigga, that's this picture of you is hip hop art. Fuck you talking about? Nigga, it's not just graffiti, it's art. It's the album covers that they painted for Griselda. It's the art, it's in your fucking house, homie. It's the art in the clothing. It's the art. What do you mean? It's the AI art. It's the graphic arts. It's the illustrator. It's the motifs. What is this man speaking about? The fuck does he mean? It's not just graffiti. Graffiti is a part of the arts, but we have graffiti artists that are doing big things. Every city that you go to is fucking graffiti. I was in Bogota and I was amazed by the graffiti. I was in Puerto Rico. I was blown away by the graffiti. The graffiti telling the story. The graffiti is the hieroglyphics. Then he said breakdancing. No, the shit that Chris Brown is doing is hip hop. Anytime you see anybody dancing in a video, what do you mean? It's not breakdancing. Every single dance that they're doing on TikTok is hip hop. Get this man a fucking book. Get this man a book. What is he speaking about? His feelings is so hurt. His shit is so off. Why don't you mean to tell me you not making a diss track after the Busby nigga, the nigga that put your name in the files? You're not making a diss track against Kanye? You're not dissing, you never diss nobody in your songs. And then in the interview, he said, yeah, I never took advantage of nobody. I never hurt nobody. I just did it the American way. That's when people start believing their own lies. You need to atone just a little bit more for some of the shit that you may have been responsible for, played a little bit of hand in. You brought in the Big Willie era. A lot of niggas crashed out to your music. What do you mean, sir? You was giving us the evils. You was giving us the evils. You said you did it so Hove did that, so you didn't. Were you telling you was giving niggas the crack pots and the Pyrexes and all type of shit? What are you talking about? So no, there needs to be some honest critique of that interview that this man did in the GQ that I feel deserves to be peer reviewed and critiqued by his peers, not by young adults, not by 80s babies and 90s babies. No, dudes from the 60s and the 70s could be the only ones that will be able to listen to that and be like, you sounding deep and everything, you sounding wise and exact, but there's mad flaws in what it is that you might be saying. And you know, everybody could be right and wrong at the same time. But there's no denying that there's more than 4 pillars in hip hop. There's no denying that battle rap is not a cancer in hip hop. There's no denying that Drake got his ass whooped and whatnot. And he went and sued the label, and he's lame, and he's super lame for that. And people have every right to fall out of favor with an artist that they're not feeling anymore. So that's so un-Brooklyn of you, my nigga. And I was gonna go to Yankee Stadium, but I'm like that, you know what I'm saying? That turned me off. That interview really turned me off. That's not the Jay-Z that we grew up with. That's pre-Epstein Jay-Z. So anyway, we got a whole segment that we need to. I might even need to do a panel and bring the OGs on, because that's a smack in the face to Black Dot's research. That's a smack in the face to Loaded Lux for all of the battle rap. You're gonna get this work. All of that work that Smack did to build up that fucking league and whatnot, and you try to write them off with a dismissal. That's a smack in the face to niggas that are not breakdancing but are dancers and whatnot. That's a smack in the face to all of the artists that put on for this culture, that put the visuals of this culture out there. And he just gonna say, oh yeah, graffiti is dead. Because why? Because you're not managing any graffiti artists, or because you know that's not a part of that inner circle? Nah, my nigga. Graffiti is thriving. People got spray cans everywhere. You in particular don't own a culture because you didn't do enough to own it. Y'all niggas sold that shit to Liar Cohen, and y'all were the do boys to these small hats and whatnot. You have not set up no type of initiative or no type of quote unquote incubators or accelerators inside of Marcy Projects or anywhere that you have any type of reach, Sean Carter. Your Sean Carter Foundation is not growing up young geniuses and maturing them. So you don't have a dog in that race to even speak on things. You feel me? Y'all have not invested in the 5 pillars of hip hop, especially in consciousness, to the point that you didn't even mention consciousness. But if you grew up around God bodies, and if you grew up in the golden era of hip hop, the real power of the golden era was the fact that we had God bodies like Lakim Shabazz. We had God bodies like Rakim Allah. We had God bodies like Big Daddy Kane. We had God bodies like Cool G Rap, King Son. They was giving us the knowledge. What do you mean? The 5th pillar was knowledge of self. Stuff Allah. Nigga, I challenge you. You gotta fix that, right? The Supreme Team. All of these people had knowledge of self. That's the foundation. Fuck is you talking about? There's no hip hop without knowledge of self. It's a bunch of fucking coons and niggas with take that monkey shit off. You're embarrassing us. Are you dumb? That's what we was standing on, the knowledge of self. That's when you see the guys with the flat tops and the Gucci or the gold links, and they looking like kings, and they looking like godly and whatnot, and they're looking majestic. That was them shining from within. They had the lessons, my nigga. They had mathematics, my nigga. They were put together because they math was right. Motherfuckers wasn't wasn't no goddamn backwards thinking, you know what I mean, upside wayward people. They had knowledge of self. They were actively living out knowledge of self. They were actively living out their God body experience in the quote unquote mean streets of New York, in the underworld, in a Minta. Fuck is you talking about? You know what I mean? During the blackout, you know what I mean? What are we talking about? That when we were growing up, it was people older than us. They were obligated to give us knowledge of self. They were handing us pamphlets. They were teaching us the lessons. They were doing all of that. So he was a part of that. The rules don't change. None of that changes. How could he even say he's not, you know what I mean? So he's putting himself in a position like a Clarence Avant, as if he's a godfather, but he doesn't call the shots like that. So that's crazy, you know? That's very irresponsible. So yeah, man, you sitting down with teenagers and you lying, and you're not giving them proper information. You're not giving them vetted out information and whatnot. You're doing more confusion. I promise you, if it wasn't confusing, the video would have went viral. Because when niggas be confusing, it's because they put non-truths and things, and it takes away from the authenticity of the message, and the shit don't resonate. That shit was not resonating right now. I was watching his video on GQ. I was like, what is he talking about? And why does he sound like that? You know what I'm talking about? He's doing his best rendition of one of these internet niggas. Like that was like the final boss in the LaRussell Mortal Kombat type shit. That's exactly what he's like, the final boss in the LaRussell Mortal Kombat, a LaRussell Street Fighter. You know what I mean? The king of the woke niggas. You know what I'm talking about? What the woke Xerxes. You know what I mean? The fucking woke 300. He's woke Xerxes. Sitting up there like, you know what I mean? Man, I think those wicks got sewn in, man. The way he acting like he got sewn in wicks. You know what I'm talking about? That's not a true bumbleclot dread. What's up with the Mandem with the dreads? First it was Buju Banton wilding out with Wayne Wonder. Now we got this Rasta Pasta. Woktavius. Yo, Woktavius. Yo, we debuting the song tomorrow. Here's a clip right here. Cold World, ladies and gentlemen. Check out Cold World, man. Look, Red Summer. I'm just saying, look out for the Red Summer. We got some new stuff from Red Summer, y'all. All right, Red Summer. Go and stream that. I'm gonna put my Spotify in the chat. Go and stream the Spotify. Red Pillar is my name on Spotify. We have put our music back on Spotify. So now we got our music back up there. I'm putting clips of my Red Summer throughout the whole month. I'm gonna be putting clips of the Red Summer. You're gonna get videos like Sherman Hemsley. You're gonna get videos like Rod of the Valkyries. You're gonna get videos like China Flow. All of the songs from Red Summer, we're gonna put visuals out there so y'all could go and run up this DSP, because I'm on the DSPs now under Red Pillar AR, Red Pillar. All right. So yeah, world premiere the video coming maybe tomorrow, the next day.
On a 90-degree angle, 93 hours, a 90-degree angel. A strangling from the world, like Charlie the Wrangle. Black woman and child, a mystical angel. You're strangled by Mr. Bojangles. I learned in Miami, some people you enter your life to feed on your life, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others who meet in your life like Jesus the Christ. He is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to see the alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like Mike. Either might seize your life, leave your life, squeezing pipes, trick out them stuff like freezing ice. We breaking the bread like it's hot. On a 90-degree angle, 93 hours, a 90-degree angel. A strangling from the world like Charlie the Wrangle. Black woman and child, a mystical angel. You're strangled by Mr. Bojangles. I learned in Miami, some people you enter your life to feed on your light, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others who meet in your life like Jesus the Christ. He is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to see the alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like Mike. Either might seize your life, leave your life, squeezing pipes, trick out them stuff like freezing ice. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. On our way up like thermometer. Off of the planet Andromeda. Feet awash, listen to beat to Taj. Chance it all. You never dance with the stars. Had all the treasures to small and Zanzibar. My father has many new mansions on Mars.
I like the new aesthetics. How y'all like the new aesthetics? We going dark. We going dark. Scorpion. You know, like dark luxury. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna go with a new aesthetic. You know what I mean?
93 hours, a 90-degree angel.
Film. You know what I mean? Nighttime shit, dark shit, Scorpion shit, Red Summer shit. You know what I mean? Like that's the angle that we going in. We're gonna take it a little dark with it because that's the that's the next project is a little dark, but it's dark and it's like black light. You know what I'm talking about? It's like black light, you know what I mean? So that's the angle that we're gonna take this thing. Yeah.
On a 90-degree angle, 93 hours at 90-degree angel. A strangling from the world, like Charlie the Wrangle. Black woman and child, they're mystical angels. You're strangled by Mr. Bojangles. I learned in Miami, some people you enter your life to feed on your light, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others will meet in your life like Jesus the Christ. He is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to see the alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like Mike. Either mic, seize your life, leave your life, squeeze and pipes, trick out them stuff like freezer ice. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. On the way up like thermometer. Off of the planet Andromeda. Feet awash, listen to beat to Taj. Chances are, you never dance with the stars. Had all the chances to spar and Zanzibar. My father has many new mansions on Mars.
Hold on, we might have to take it to the top, man. I can't just start shit up and not finish it. We're gonna take it to the top. Then we out of here. It's getting mad late.
I caught her on her feet.
She's not gonna hit you.
You need this.
The interlude to the video.
That's who's screaming.
To this day.
Great summer. Red pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the law. Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you was strange to the gods. Simple and plain, you were fraud. How could you claim that you God? Back then my mental was trained, like mentals in pain, the mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental, train a lentil. When it rains, it pours, and it rains torrential. Back at the ranch like Kanye, just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Harvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends, like on the wheel of Ease and Harvey. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research, they just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag. That's true, so up in Fendi, New Yorker was trendy. When Dr. York, he was the voice of New York like Wendy. They up to the Mark and Mendy's.
Her feet off. I caught her on her feet.
She's not gonna hit you.
There goes the Spotify, ladies and gentlemen. Go listen to the whole album, The Red Summer. Alright? If you never heard that album, you're going to be blown away.
The interlude to the video.
That's who's screaming.
Yay. Alright, that's The Red Summer. That's on the Spotify, on all streaming platforms, Apple Tunes, Tidal. Put The Red Pillar, and you'll see the catalog. Alright, you got The Red Summer out there.
Red pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the law. Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you was strange to the gods. Simple and plain, you were fraud. How could you claim that you God? Back then my mental was trained, like mentals in pain, the mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental, train a lentil. When it rains, it pours, and it rains torrential. Back at the ranch like Kanye, just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Harvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends, like on the wheel of Ease and Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research, they just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag. That's true, so up in Fendi, New Yorker was trendy. When Dr. York, he was the voice of New York like Wendy. Gave birth to the Mark and Mendy's. They on the wrong side of history. They on the wrong side of Sicily. The Biblio Helios. Enemies. European. Hennessy. To be spit. Energy. In his tense. If it were a person, it would be Mike Pence. Bailed out in chrome spaceships. Bitch, I bailed out with gold bracelets. Yeah, I brailed out her own matrix. They say that it's ego, but it's a strong intention. They play with the people, take credit for wrong inventions, long extensions, Empire State Buildings, end the time scenarios, King Kong, Dungeon Dragons, in the rhyme scenarios, the songs that mention songs, that all my henchmen on. Niggas in trenches and benches with riches and bombs. Listen to songs, getting they flags and their bitches is on. Master self, catch yourself before you catch yourself. Make sure that you catch your wealth. Ask yourself when you detach your belt. If the vibe is off, it's because strides is lost. Cold world, survive the frost. Red summer, it's because strides is lost. Red summer, cold world, survive the frost. Survive the frost. Survive the frost. Survive the frost. Bailed out.
All right. We're coming to the end of the road. We will be back. All right. Like I said, I have a whole Jay-Z video that we will be back with. I'm going to dedicate or livicate a whole show to that interview right there. I might call it the Blueprint 322 2026 or something. Just give me a minute. Let me work on that. I got some great announcements for some upcoming shows, but the water's still boiling and whatnot. We'll let you know when it's ready to serve. What I do know is that we have Friday, we have Imaginarium session number 9. Also on April the 18th and the 19th and the 20th, we have the 72-hour boot camp in North Carolina. That is the Open Claw. And it's going to also have Claude with a D. That'll be a component of it as well. But yes, the Open Claw Automated Agentic AI 72-hour workshop. Man, this one right here is going to be one for the record books. Make sure y'all are in the building. You do have access to the live stream as well as the IRL ticket. Sacrilegious Sundays, Saturday Night Live. Look out for all of that. That will be on the way as well. With that being said, peace, love, and light to the family. Y'all stay dangerous. All right, we're going to end this with Pass and Crypto. 1,000, y'all. 1.
Niggas in crypto, diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist pump, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player gets snipped out, acting gay up in Cisco. Like take the day off and play up at Mistos, causing chaos and play up Calypso. I paused in kitchens and caused addictions. I paused prescriptions and caused inflictions. Lil Bixby playing in stores and Brixton on the dark web. You gotta pause every doors, cause encryptions. Tesla engines, pause the pistons. I seen every floor I leave sore and listing. For that action, they sponsored the Bronson. They was hooked on that shit like Johnson and Johnson. That freeway, Ricky Ross, straight out of Compton, straight out of Bompton. Red on blue, violence in the land. The projection of the will, the perfection of the kill, the reflection of the pills. I'm a frontline soldier, I'm no doja. These crystals not for focus in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in disco. You niggas in fist pump, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player gets snipped now, acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up at Pistols, causing chaos and play up Calypso. Dickory, dickory, down. Hit a lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot. Heavy in the pedal, we slip off a knot. Heavy in the ghetto, do, they crib walk a lot. Crib walk the crypto, live off the stocks. Drips off the crystal and pots. Disco rods in the blocks on my chain from the crystal shop. In the light air, lift off the rock. Toe Virgil right chain on my block. White paint on my socks. White paint on my socks. Hickory dickory dock. Hit the lick, put the sticky in the box. When the blicky get hot. Lick off a shot, we lick off a shot. Pay us in crypto. Diamonds is dancing like they up in discos. You niggas in fist smoke, you stay up the dip low. You niggas stay up and get low. Heard you way up in Frisco, and you say what the heck so. Every player get snips now. Acting gay up in Cisco. Might take the day off and play up the pistols, causing chaos and play up Calypso.